Hello. I think we're going live. And hello and welcome to the Valorant Draft Circuit. Tonight we have two matches for you. At least we're hoping to. And tonight I am joined by Psych. Psych, say hello to everybody.
Hello, hi.
How you feeling?
Feeling all right. Yeah. Well, looks like we're gonna see a match against Team Bionics and Vaporwave in their
Yeah,
premier match.
yeah, so we're starting in Premiere tonight with Bionics and Vaporwave, and this is a matchup between the current team at the top of the table, which is Vaporwave at 10-6 record. They currently, I think, hold the tiebreaker, or at least are tied for first place. They hold first place, and Bionics are all the way down at 4-12 at the bottom, starting to run out of time as well, as this is the second round of the round robin. These teams already played once. Vaporwave 2-0'd that. And I think Icebox was one of the maps we saw in that series that they took. And so we are getting into Agent Select for Icebox. And so far I'm seeing a lot of standard stuff here.
And looks like
Killjoy
Daddy with
Viper
Brim is
still.
betraying his name, going with Viper instead.
You know, truly just Icebox, not a map you can really take the Brimstone on. Daddy with Brim, our sole sub in this matchup, subbing in for Vaporwave here. Everyone else in this matchup playing on their teams as usual. So far, these comps are looking pretty normal, though if that Neon gets locked in, that would be very interesting. Chisel does note that he plays a lot of Neon in the VDC and picked it up for the VDC, and it does get locked in here. I have not seen a lot of Neon on Icebox, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Otherwise, some standard
Select
stuff.
your agent.
Dueling Sovas and Vipers, and I expect we're going to have dueling Chambers as well. And then the Sage versus the KO. So a more aggressive comp for Vaporwave, who do start on defense on this map.
Yeah, look at Team
Really,
Bionic. That's the 5 agents you always see on Icebox.
that is the comp, the Icebox comp. I do think it's often called the Ascend comp. I think they're the team that first sort of pioneered that in VCT.
Wait, look at these player levels. 336. I can't believe that.
That's a lot of Valorant. Wow. All right, well, so for this Vaporwave comp, a lot of the things they're going to be looking for in this first half on the attack side is they're just looking to get into the site, often A, though I'm sure they'll take it B every once in a while, and plant, and then play off of that.
Yeah, it looks
So
like they're
we're gonna
gearing up for an A hit to start off.
Yeah, it does look that way for them. So we'll see. And actually, it looks like Vaporwave's kind of reading this. They've got almost the entire team over here. It looks like their Viper player will start to make toward mid a little bit, but
It looks like
back towards B.
Sage pushing up. This Chamber and Killjoy supporting from heaven. Neon gets spotted by the Sova Dart backside. Looks like it's already the full rotate from Team Vaporwave. And Bionic seems to be considering a rotate.
It does look like that. Vaporwave's actually like really heavily rotating for this, and we'll see if this works out for them because Bionic are starting to make their way that direction towards the B site instead of A. The rain cloud here, though, could notice that, hey, I haven't made any contact in a minute, and that's actually, yeah, that's what's happening. They're starting to creep back towards A. Very slow around here. I think only Chisel on the Neon there for Vaporwave has really taken any damage. Nothing else has really happened, and now Vaporwave, they also have the Spidey senses tinkling. I think we're just going to get a full 5v5 on site here, Psych.
Yeah, it seems like Team Bionic has been
everybody-
red at every corner.
As here comes the hit.
So far, pretty uncontested. But Chamber pushes up. Spans out Sage, doesn't get kill. Oh, the quick right tap.
Yeah, so we've got it down to the 2v2 here. Devlin on the KO, pushing up because he knows both these players are playing back, which they are. Kiro, Criminal, gonna go down. And there trades onto Devlin. Spike's not playing it for him, though. Has to dash for the captain for the team of Bionic here, trying to clutch out this first round against Audi, and will do so with the right clicks from the Classic. First round goes to Bionics.
All right. Looking like it's going to be a Spectre Force Buy from Team Bionic.
Yeah, we should see those Spectres come across. We'll see if Kenny elects to go that way as well. Does so. There we go. Nothing really coming in from Vaporwave. Daddy with Brim will buy armor and probably some shots in that Headhunter from Wise, but otherwise, pretty light purchase. Should be around going to Bionics here. If things go as expected, though, with those Headhunter shots ringing out, you never know.
All right. Sage is just creeping in A site. Still being held by Neon and KO.
Ooh, Chisel got tagged up a lot.
Spotted.
Yeah, both these players for Vaporwave got tagged up a little bit, both Devlin and Chisel. Tagged up in backside, and it looks like the hit is going to start to come in. We'll see if Tadros can get clean on this lurk. Will do so. Going to pull out before going for more, so finds the first pick onto Audi. And they're not committing. It's a very tentative attack so far from Bionic. It looks like they really want safe plants. They kind of got that in the first round. They waited long enough that by the time they did push up on it looks like they might have been waiting for heal there. When they finally did push up on the site last round, there was basically nobody there to contest. It was like a 1-for-1 trade at first, and the spike went down pretty clean. So they've made their way back here. Vaporwave are retaking control of mid. Otherwise, yeah, some shots were thrown in their direction, but Bionics should walk up and should get this spike down in this traditional plant spot. Nothing here to stop them. We'll see if Vaporwave can do anything on this post plant. Devlin just took a ton of damage
from that Viper seem like there's a lot of hope for Vaporwave. They're up against a team of 5 with Spectres, and they have nothing but pistols. Tadros with a double pick.
Yeah, it does get 2 there, leaving Devlin in a 1v5. Gets the first with the Classic, but Tadros will clean up the final kill, getting 4 on the round for himself and giving Bionics a pretty safe round number 2 and putting them up 2-0 on the scoreboard. So again, we're seeing these kind of clean, safe plants for them, and it's working out.
Yeah, it seems like Bionic is going with the bonus round of the Spectre, and they're going to be up against 5 Vandals. They are up 2 rounds. Can they make a third with this comp?
Yeah, we should see this round go to Vaporwave. As you'd expect, they have better guns, especially on a map like Icebox, where range is pretty important. But, you know, things like this Headhunter could come into play. I do think there was a Sheriff into play. And Spectres, of course, is on the A side a lot, you know, and those close quarters could do some damage. As Kiro jump spots Wise here, chamber on chamber, looking in the mirror, but will back away.
Looks like Vaporwave was still pretty unsure of exactly what Bionic's intentions are here. Still spread out across the map.
Chisel doesn't have a gun.
Huh.
I don't know how that happened, but Chisel here with only the Classic has 2,400. Didn't decide to buy a lesser rifle or go light armor.
I could swear that I saw the whole team full buy.
Might have sold at the last second. I'm not sure what happened there. Not close to the overdrive either, so it's not waiting on the Neon ultimate. And Bionics, again, we see this tentative play style. They walked up onto A, and it baited out the null command, and that decided to push them back as Adi will just spam through the poison orb, finds one. The rest of Bionics, though, push through. Daddy with Brim will find the other Viper looking the wrong direction, and then Daddy with Brim will get caught by the
Ooh.
Rain Cloud looking the wrong direction. The Rain Cloud should get spiked down as there's a lot of trades happening. And
Oh, there's no
Wise is going
time.
to take... Yeah, Wise, actually, there's no one alive. Wise was posted up behind yellow. Kind of missed that on the mini-map. There was, I think, a bit of a duel in long, perhaps, or just nobody ever went long. Wise was able to swing out on the two that were attempting to plant the spike in the Rain Cloud and Famzera, clean them both up. So the round does go to Vaporwave after that hectic burst in the middle of the map.
It's going to be full buys all around for both teams. It's going to be a strong A hit.
We will get into our first buy round here. And again, Chisel, I'm still interested to see what this Neon pick is going to do as he's pushing up here. Gets kind of forced off, gets very forced off. Lives though. Unfortunately, no healing available, so he's going to be on low health the rest of the round, huh? All right, Devlin here attempting to defend the A site as the hit is coming, and that Viper, that's an attacking Viper's Pit from Tadros that is spreading up towards default plant. This is the maze ult that's really hard to deal with, and Chisel finally goes down on that low health. So will Devlin. This will get spiked down clean again.
Team Vaporwaves has only just fully rotated, and they've already lost 2 of their players. I think Chamber spent all this time still on B.
And the Rain Cloud thought he got a timing, but goes down. Thought he slipped the Owl drone, but Daddy with Brim was ready for it. However, Wise goes down to Kenny, and Daddy with Brim taps the spike, but has to retreat from the Killjoy Nanoswarms. This might just end up being a call to save, as Daddy with Brim seems convinced that it's not worth attempting, and it looks like that will be the call. As the last 2 for Vaporwave back away Bionics, executing this comp well, getting the spike down, getting their rounds. Already going to be up.
Going for some exit pills?
Maybe. Doesn't look like anything's going to come out of that,
just
though.
playing it safe.
So yeah, this attacking comp from Bionics, this is kind of why we see this comp, right? They get spiked down clean, and then it's just really hard to retake all of that space on especially A site of Icebox.
You see the Sage Roll come down basically every round to take site, and then the Killjoy Nanoswarms are just there for the post plant. It's the standard Icebox play.
Yep, you got Shock Darts as well, and Snake Bites from the Viper. It's a really difficult setup to deal with. We see it a lot for a reason. So it's kind of on Vaporwave here with their, slightly abnormal picks. KO, I think, is pretty normal on this map, but, still a bit unusual. And the Neon especially, I think, really, we're going to need to see an impact from the Neon, at least on the attack side, if not later on this defensive half. As first pick going their way is nice for Vaporwave. That looks like Daddy with Brim picking off a player in spawn from underneath tube. It looks like we're going to have a B main fight, or not. Wise walks away. Hero, though, will peek Daddy with Brim, take him down.
The headshot comes in. The Guardian.
Yeah. A nice clean tap by Wise, but it's just a 1-for-1, 2-for-1 really in the long term for Bionics, as they've retaken some control of this round. They should have some space. They're going to have to actually fight for it to get spiked down, as Devlin is starting this long flank. I don't know where that knife lands. I'm not sure he does either.
That was an on-the-spot lineup.
I would have to guess. I don't think that landed anywhere near the site. But Devlin's flank does pay off as he finds the first, and is going to throw the Rain Cloud and Famzera's eyes both his direction. They've got to find him if they want any chance. Chisel's pushing in with the Neon Wall, and yeah, Audi will just be able to swing from the other side of yellow, find the last 2 players. A nice retake there. That flank, of course, was huge. And a round 1.
With the divided attention, it would be impossible to deal with both Devlin and Audi at the same time.
Not to mention Chisel throwing it into high gear around the side with the fast lanes, getting into those angles behind yellow. If Audi hadn't cleaned those two up, I'm pretty sure the Rain Cloud was about to get shot in the back looking the other direction anyway. Just a nice little pinch. That's why I think we see teams go A more than B here, as it is a full buy coming out of Bionics. They are going to pop the Tour de Force in lieu of buying a weapon, and as they pop it, they go down. As this is a hard A push
Oh, you
for
see on the left,
Vaporwave.
looks like Viper popped the Viper's Pit in defense
Yeah,
of B site.
yeah, this is a solo hold B site from Viper, and the rest of Vaporwave are hard pushing A. And they've been noted. It was a 1-for-1 trade. Audi is still pushed up, but I think, yeah, it got seen, and now the res comes through. Now it's 5v3 for Bionics. So, chance that things worked out early, but now Tadros on this lurk as well should throw a wrench into things. This is going to be very difficult.
Looks like Vaporwave's Viper is still sticking the Viper's Pit, expecting a sort of rotate late in the game, but
Yeah,
only now is he
off.
rotating back.
Already, Wise gets the required kill to keep this round anywhere near contested. It goes down to Kiro. Daddy with Brim. I see why he didn't rotate now. Only had the Judge. Has a Vandal now.
That is a nice skin.
A
Pairs
nice
well
skin.
with the buddy.
Not a nice situation, though. A 1v4 necessary. I don't think Daddy with Brim is going to fully commit to this, if I had to guess. Yeah, it looks like another save call for Daddy with Brim. And another round for Bionics. I'm pretty impressed with her attack half so far.
Yeah, not too bad a record. 4-2.
Especially, coming into this matchup, Bionics are 4-12 on maps. They are dead last right now, and Vaporwave 10-6 is at the top of the table. So Bionics, fighting a team who is currently top of the table, benefiting a bit from a forfeit last week, in a 4v5 win is Vaporwave. However, still, a good team, and Bionics way down at the bottom. This is the kind of stuff they're gonna have to win to get themselves a chance to, rise back up in the rankings, potentially find top half of the table, top 4 in this 8-team league that is Premier, and try to find playoffs.
Oh, thank you for reminding me that Bionic is actually the underdog in the situation. That just makes this all a lot more interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I think this Shock Dart lineup is to break this trip in mid, but it just missed. Did you see that? It just missed the trip in mid, and it looks like they're going to play as if it broke it. There was a Sova voice line that used to exist in the game a few patches ago that would tell you if Sova hit a piece of utility like that, but that line has been removed. So Bionics are working on the assumption that they did hit it, as Chisel finds Kiro from the headshot angle, goes down to Famzera, though, so a 1-for-1 trade. As Tadros probably believing this thing went down if it hasn't seen him yet, because it was placed in a bit of an unusual spot. This is so interesting. Tadros, if he walks up too far, it's gonna see him. He doesn't. It's right around the corner there on his left. I think he hears it. He should hear it. So as they start to lurk back towards B, he's probably gonna click it, break it as they pull the trigger to execute sight. So it's going to be on to Wise here for now to try to repel this push. Takes the first peek, and it's deciding to stick in location as the lockdown starts to come in, and that's going to be the trademark broken. So Tadros making presence known, and Wise does find one. Tadros, meanwhile, finds one. So a 1-for-1, and with the lockdown popping, that should be Spike getting planted. So actually, we're going to see the Hunter's Fury come out. I think found one tag, but can't find the kill, so that makes the retake a little easier, though Tadros finding Devlin definitely does not. So we'll see if Vaporwave can do it in the 2v3 retake. Got a pinch here, but it's just a 1-for-1, so all on to Audi here. Got players on both sides. Famzera swinging around, just throwing some bullets his direction. The Rain Cloud up close with the Phantom, takes off the head of Audi. And Bionics put their 5th on the board.
Not looking like a bad half, huh? Once again, looks like Vaporwave is forced into a bit of a half buy or a force buy for next situation, while they're up against a fully bought Bionic. It's like a 6th round, maybe.
Bionics really playing really well. Again, reminder, this is bottom of the table versus top of the table, and bottom of the table team in Bionics right now really kind of just showing some prowess on this map. They've only lost one true gun round. Every other map they've won, though. Chisel going in fast down mid finds the first pick onto Tadros. This could disrupt the push pretty heavily. It looks like they're going to fall back off of that. No Viper available for Bionics, and we'll see if Wise can
Oh,
also
this could be
find.
huge.
Oh, he should find something. Shots, though, can't be
No.
found. Only damage. And that can be healed a little bit. And now there's 2 low players on Vaporwave. They've got a lot of control to Vaporwave, but it's backed up by pretty poor weaponry. They weren't able to recover the rifle of Tadros when he went down. As Wise goes looking again and just cannot find a head at the range.
It's tragic.
Goes down to Kenny. And now we see the rotation towards B, which is wide open.
It's a 4v4, and Bionic has already made enough noise.
Vaporwave won't get in here time. They won't get here in time to contest because of the barrier orb. And okay, Kenny.
Oh, that's
Sure,
the
dude.
running headshot.
Full
Precise
walking
gunplay.
kill. Absolutely precise. Does get the kill though, and that this could just be done with this round. The overdrive has long been over for Chisel. Tries to slide out, can't find anything. Panzera gets 2 of the last 3. Daddy with Brim will find him, but a lot of more work to do, and unfortunately bullets in the back of the head generally make your job a lot harder. So Bionics do put that 6th on the board. A nice idea, I'd say, from Vaporwave. What do you think with that push down mid?
You saying they're gonna do a push down mid this round? Talking about
No, in the last round, that push down mid
Last
that they
round.
had from Chisel and the first pick going their way and all that.
well, they had nearly nothing to work with, so I assume at this point it's just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. It's like it was their save round, and now they're on a bye, playing a lot more conservative, traditional. Looks like the spike's headed towards A site. Very slow push.
Bionics really played patient in this map, so you stay with spikes heading this direction, but, you know, never quite sure. Never quite sure where it's gonna end up, have we been so far.
It looks like KO and Chamber have done their job. They've successfully held A site and repelled the attack. The spike has moved out of A main and back into A main. I eat my words.
Yeah, they've Bionics have really showed a propensity for the rotations so far. As it does look like A is where they want to go, and with 30 seconds left, that 0 point gets a lot, and Wise's op gets ahead. As now it's a 4v5, Bionics have to push up here, and it's going to be really difficult for them to do so. Wise takes another with the operator. Hero can't find anything from pipes. They're kind of getting crunched in slowly. Chisel find another. It's going to be impossible here. Wise takes down the rain cloud. Kenny's left alone and is going to get shot in the back. Exactly 1 second. Goes down to Daddy with Brim. It's a flawless round for Vaporwave, who waited out that patient push from Bionics perfectly and were ready for it this time.
It's a bit of a turnaround from the results we've been seeing all this match. But it was a full buy with an op on their hands.
Yeah, with the flawless, they will carry that operator into this round. So more to do with it. We'll see if they favor the same side of the map with the op. If Wise will, it looks like he's actually posted up B already, so didn't even finish asking. And that was really his first time playing that side of the map, playing on the A side, as Devlin's just going to walk straight up, grab the orb. Very difficult orb for the attackers to contest, and we see that play out here as Tadros just found Daddy with Brim from that mid to attacker spawn angle, and that's actually drawing rotations toward mid. Chisel is going to clear, full clear B, but I think it's not going to be in time. Devlin, though, pops null command.
Oh, I thought we were just about to see that attacking side of Viper's Pit again.
but they can't pop it right now, so they're gonna have to just walk up and push. Adi finds Kenny. That's the Sage Wall down. Yeah, he'll get traded, but the Spike plant gets much more difficult, and the Rain Cloud also goes down. So now a 3v3 stabilization
Oh,
is
there it is.
brought from Manila Command. Viper's Pit will be popped, but without the barrier orb, it makes it harder to plant here. They're gonna have to fight for this space. We'll see what they decide to do. Kind of left in this tense post-Viper's Pit pre-plant mode. Tadros and Devlin really want to kill each other, but neither knows really where the other is. Devlin's just or Tadros rather, is just making noise to keep the players of Vaporwave here. Meanwhile, as we can see on the minimap, Kiro with the spike has run all the way to B to get it down here. And that's a nice timing.
Finds Wise right in the open.
And that also actually, that's kind of important because the 0 point gets baited out. So that's no longer available for this post plant. They'll get over fast. Chisel on the Neon has, of course, the high gear to sprint over towards the B site, but now they've got to make a 2v3 retake work, and they've just had to traverse the whole map to get here. Time low, and Nanoswarm's on the spike, and that's the first one spinning. Tadros as well in this horrible position. A clean shot onto the head of Devlin, and another shot onto the head of Chisel. So Tadros and that Viper's Pit and Lurk pulls the round back for Bionics, and they're up now 7-3 on the team at the top of the table.
Wow, that is something exciting to watch. Now let's see. Wise is popping the Tour de Force op. Full buys all around. Otherwise,
yeah, thankfully for Vaporwave, their round victory was a flawless round. Otherwise, their economy might be in the dumpster. As we'll see if this lineup works again. It doesn't.
oh,
It looks like Vaporwave. Yeah, it looks like they know about that lineup because they are placing the chamber rendezvous trademark in like a kind of odd position, but it is far enough over that it avoids the lineup.
Maybe it's the counterplay.
Yeah, as Daddy with Brim is pushed up a lot in a tube. There's a lot of map control here for Vaporwave on this B side, and that's where they want to go do Bionics. The Aldrone goes in first.
Oh, it doesn't spot Neon. Neon is pushed up.
Doesn't. And Chisel, yeah, we'll find the first pick off that. Nice little over-under play, a little bit of a bait from Wise, who takes a lot of damage, can't get the shot clean, but keeps his life. However, Bionics, space taken is space taken, but with Sage down, that makes life more difficult for getting the spike down, especially on this B site. It looks like they want to pull out and start going towards A, but if they do so, they're going to have to deal with this pushed up mid play from Daddy with Brim, Sova behind him. Devlin
looks like KO is also an issue.
Yeah, these three players kind of have a trap set up in mid, and Bionics, I don't know if they read it or just realized they have no time. They are running towards the B site. Chisel swings out on the timing, though can't get the kill. Spike, though, is dropped on site. There's 4 seconds
there's
left.
no hope.
No time left. The clock ran down on them, and Bionics can't get the plant anywhere. They do get a pick on Daddy with Brim as the round expires, and I think that could be important. We'll see how Vaporwave's money is doing as they force up the op. It'll be with light armor. Chisel doesn't look like he has a gun in this round. No, he does. Okay. So barely enough to buy. It'll be a light armor for Wise with the operator, but never the hugest deal.
Doesn't matter too much. We have seen Wise do amazing things with that op.
Yeah, it's felt kind of necessary for Vaporwave in a sense in this half. Last round, a couple of the rounds they've won, that operator's impact has been more than necessary, I'd say. As Chisel goes pushing. Okay. Interesting decision with the resurrection available as Kenny's going to take the skin. New skin's got to go shopping. There is nobody on this B side to contest in that lockdown, though Bionics don't know it yet, has just given them free reign of the site. Daddy with Brim does not want to fight that. So Spike will go down here. It's going to be a 4v5 retake for Vaporwave. Let's see what they can do.
Spike planted.
Ooh. All right. Swapped over just in time for Devlin to get the flank kill onto the Rain Cloud. Kiro, though, with the Tour de Force has found one. So back to numbers advantage in favor of Bionics. They're still worried about the lurking flank of Devlin, but he's rotated all the way back through mid. We'll see what Vaporwave can get out of this as soon as this Toxic Screen goes down. That's going to trigger the trades to start. Audie's now, the last round of the half, has to go for it. Yeah, not really
Oh, he
any
gets
chance
quick
left.
scoped.
The
It's a
Tour de
terrible
Force is
feeling.
the Tour de Force is a terrifying weapon to face. That thing zooms on you faster than anything. And unfortunately, just not really a chance there for Vaporwave in that last round. Spike went down and it was, Chisel had the idea to push up, but unfortunately finds the head of the Killjoy instead of the Sage. So the resurrection available puts Vaporwave Bionics at a numbers advantage, so they get Spike down. And then this comp is, this is the post-plant comp. It's so hard to deal with. They had Hunter's Fury available there if they actually needed it, which they didn't. The Tour de Force finds 3 in the end. It's just a massive pain for Vaporwave to deal with that in that round. And in that half, as Bionics, struggled a lot the first time these two teams played, and they played on Icebox. I'm pulling that up now. I believe this was a 13-3 result for Vaporwave. The Bionics already more than doubling their round score from that first run through. So Chisel, showing what that Neon can do on attack, finds 1, eventually goes down, but 2 more go to Vaporwave as they're starting to make a statement on this pistol round and get the Spike down.
It's going to be a hard retake for Bionics. Looks like... Yeah, looks like Team Vaporwave's already all set up.
Only benefit for Bionics is that they are playing close, as Tadros will find the first. Everybody swings out, but the Rain Cloud finds Daddy with Brim, so it's a 1v2 manageable, not easy, of course. 1v3 a bit with the Recon Bolt.
Rain Cloud has more health combined.
Right to set up the Crossfire. Yeah, the Rain Cloud had plenty of health, but unfortunately, more players means more angles to clear. Audie on the backed up towards main there, and on the off angle takes down the Rain Cloud, who can't pull out the 1v2.
God, we're seeing a Guardian and full shield buy from Wise. He's really feeling it today.
Yeah, well, going into the second round here, definitely around Vaporwave, I feel like you need to convert. Bionics, their composition, which is pretty good for the attacking side, I think, also has a lot of benefits going for it on the defensive side. Triple Sentinel is and Viper, a bit of a worrying combination to push into, as they're going to go for the hard mid push and find 1 person, and that is Daddy with Brim, and Daddy with Brim will find 2 people with his Guardian. Still though, okay, yeah, no, this actually should be over. Yep, Wise with the Bulldog finds 2 heads, and Devlin with the Spectre finds the last.
I mean, there were 3 rifles on Vaporwave. There wasn't much hope.
Yeah, Bionics tried to push down as a group, take some fights. They lost those fights. A lot of head taps coming in for the side of Vaporwave. They handle the second round with relative ease, and now it puts pressure onto Bionics here to handle this bonus round out of Vaporwave. And a bit of an important one, because if Vaporwave can take this bonus round, that'll put Bionics on the eco and should quickly tie this match up at 8-8. Momentum would be firmly in the favor of Vaporwave, so I think Bionics really need this one, as Kiro
hits the headshot to start with, but can't finish him off.
Yeah, Kiro swung out there, is basically on death's door, is going to get a bit of a heal there from the teammate, but that's an important first duel. If Kiro goes down there, that's a rifle recovered for Bionics, and that puts them in a hugely advantageous position. Apologies, I do believe, for Oh, we have just... Okay, we've cut back to casters. I am unsure what the issue is.
Huh. Look, I mean, the whole stream, the quality was not
Yeah, the
very,
stream...
not very great, but I guess.
Okay, or the feed was heavily buffering. It looks like we've got a 3v3 here. I can't tell if the spike's down or not. It doesn't look like it is. Oh, and the Rain Cloud's going to find Audi with the Shock Dart streams buffering again. I apologize. I don't know if this is coming over for those of you watching the stream.
There it is again.
For the two of us here trying to cast, the stream has cut to, well, back to casters. Hello. But the stream quality keeps cutting out. We keep freezing. I'm sure we'll get word shortly from production what's going on at the moment. Unfortunately, we cannot see the round as it's happening, but where we left off, last we saw anyway, it was 8-6, and it was the bonus round for Vaporwave. It was, I think, 2-on-2. Yeah, and it does look like for you guys on the stream, this is coming through as well. I'm not even sure if you guys can hear me, but the first pause happened long enough ago now that I can see it on the stream delay. Probably just some internet issues. We will look to get that resolved as soon as we can. All right, and I am getting word from our production that the stream should be back running here shortly. We're just making sure we don't get more buffering. It looks like things should be good to go here shortly. We'll be getting back into the match. I believe the match has continued while we have been waiting, however. Did in fact win that round.
It's 6-9.
Yep. So apologies for the difficulties, everybody. We will do our best to keep that from popping up again. But we are back into this match, and again, match between Bionics and Vaporwave, as it looks like Vaporwave here should be on a relatively full buy at least, though Wise opting for the Headhunter. And Bionics on a mostly full buy as well, though we did just catch a glimpse of that Spectre. Nobody's gone down in this round. But it does look like B is the early play. Ah, yes, they want the Tour de Force online, does Vaporwave.
Looks like the spike was left behind in a sort of default. Chamber goes down to the Tour de Force.
There's not really a default anymore. They have just executed a B split. Bit unusual on Icebox, but this is why. Yeah, we see the B split players both go down as they get crunched from mid and B. Those pushing B main have a bit more success now as they've 1-for-1 their way back into a 2v3 situation. Still, though, Spike not down, and this B site notoriously difficult to take. They don't have a Sage in their composition to begin with. Getting Spike down here is going to be really difficult, though Wise with the Tour de Force is just looking to kill everybody first.
Oh, does he
If
catch
you
the
can do
Sage?
that, yeah, he catches a glimpse of Kenny up there. Kenny's going to back away fearing for his life. They know they have to get Spike down as Audi goes for the plant. This is now very winnable for Vaporwave.
One enemy remaining.
It's very winnable for Vaporwave as Wise
They
has found
really
all
just turned that
5
around.
with the Tour de Force. Oh, Nerf Chambers
what
in
an
chat, I'm
ace.
sure already. Just a big turnaround. All 5 shots, 5 kills. Just finds everybody there, peeks them one at a time. Kind of no choice at the end there. And Wise just cleans everybody up. That is the power of Chamber. That is Chamber unleashed in his most potent form, finding 5 with the Tour de Force. It wins them the round. It was a 2v4 there for a moment. It wouldn't have even mattered if it was a 1v4. Apparently, Wise just kills everybody. So the ace for Wise gets Vaporwave up to 7 and forces Bionics onto the save. It looks like there was a hero rifle on deck, but that was about it. Yeah, Kiro has the hero rifle, and Kiro's walking down mid. Interesting play, but if he goes down, he can't get his gun back, so we'll see what he does with it.
It's like Vaporwave is slowly pushing up into Viper's crosshairs with the Sheriff.
No one tap though for Tadros, and he takes a bunch of damage for it. He'll get healed. Oh, Okay, yeah, that might be round done as Daddy with Brim pops the Viper's Pit, though, again for this team of Vaporwave. They don't have a Sage Wall to get spiked down with. And yeah, Weiss goes down trying to plant the spike. The hero of last round is dead. They finally find 2 trades. This Viper's Pit, though, is kind of playing against them because it's making it easier for Bionics to spam into the pit and take out the planter. Finally, they stabilize the round, but 2 of these players are really low, and one of them is now very dead. It ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, now a 2-for-1 trade. Now, the Viper's Pit is coming out. This round just keeps going. The Viper's Pit comes out for Famzera, as does the lockdown. Adi's got to push up. He's been seen, though, and Famzera will trade.
Round goes to Bionics.
I'm out of breath. That was a whole lot in a very short amount of time. Really a very long amount of time, as a lot of ultimates got thrown in both Viper's pits. But again, Vaporwave, this unusual comp kind of bites them. Don't you, wouldn't you agree, Psych?
Yeah, I mean, there's one smoker to take sight, I suppose, but aside from that, you don't have the sight holding ability that Killjoy and Sage both have.
And it's, yeah, especially the Sage not being there, really bit them. They, no safe plant, no plant at all. I think, eventually they got it down. Eventually.
And it took a Viper's Pit and a full buy.
Yeah. And that was pretty much a thrifty round for the side of Bionics, as Kira is going to find the opposite. So the 24 is in the other hands, already paying off for Kiro. However, we're going to see the Null Command go in, and Chisel's just going in heavily into sight. Could pop the overdrive, and will. Swinging around here, trying to take down Famzera, will. So 2 go actually down for Bionics as they... Yeah, Vaporwave will get Devlin back on his feet, so it's going to be a 3v3 post plant. Kiro here controlling top of rafters as the retake starts to come in. All these players for Vaporwave, I don't know if they're choosing to play on the site, but I think they're kind of trapped anyway, as directly underneath these 2, Devlin and Daddy with Brim find 2. That's going to leave the Rain Cloud in a 1v3. Couldn't provide support there, and now 2 players back up. And that Spike's already ticking pretty fast. So around, I thought Bionics looked pretty good in myself. I turned out to be dead wrong about, as, yeah, Vaporwave get spiked down, get their round secured here. Pull back to 8-10. Again, I will remind everyone, these 2 teams have played before, and they played this map, and Vaporwave won this map 13-3.
Well, looks like Bionics has some new tricks up the sleeve. There's nobody watching mid. It looks like only 2 players are on A site. It's going to take a while for the last 3 to rotate.
Ooh, and it looks like both teams know the Shock Dart lineup. However, Bionics doesn't even have a trademark there, as they're actually just trying to push up. Adi finds 2. The hero rifle of the Rain Cloud will just run away. Not even hero rifle, he just saved it. As Chisel finds the 2 A defenders. So that Neon's starting to pay off in the second half. He's starting to pull back that KD, starting to find some frags. This round should be over, as the Rain Cloud's left in a 1v5, 1v4. But Spike has...
of last game.
Yeah, Spike has gone down. The Rain Cloud has to now find every player. And they're all just kind of lurking in the walls on him. These are... he looks like he's just trying to save, but if he even tried for this, these are just... I mean, look at these angles! There's no way you'd ever clear all of this. We'll see if Wise... he has
dropped down?
Yeah, he looks like he has an idea of where the Rain Cloud is.
Oh, it's going to be a jump scare.
Oh, he tried to knife him! I don't know about that decision from Wise. He goes down. The Rain Cloud also finds Devlin. You know, money matters in this game, guys. Money matters in this game, guys. All right. Well, that round was over and done with before that happened, but an interesting decision to chase after the already saved over rifle from the previous round. They've still got money behind this, but I think Vaporwave just cost themselves a potential buy if they start losing out. That was They found their man, I guess.
A
Target
4K.
identified and target eventually went down. Oh my goodness. Alright. And again, we see
the
this
same shock
shock
dart.
dart lineup.
Gets nothing.
Yeah, okay, so they're actually, as Chisel finds the first pick, Chisel's starting to kind of pop off in this half, but there is actually a trademark up there, but it's on the other side, where it's kind of like off the angle, and that's why it's not getting it. Ooh. Hero seems to be kicking himself after that miss, and Chisel's just found another. Chisel's just doing whatever he wants right now. Daddy with Brim goes down somewhere. It looks like it's under tube. Hero can't get the shot either, and now Chisel is just shooting people in the back. Chisel ran all the way through mid to A to B. Shoots the Rincon in the back, leaves Kenny in a 1v4. We'll see if they play this one safer. As
it looks
Vaporwave,
like this is a save.
yeah, this Vaporwave comp that I said needed to have something to prove on the attack side. So far, so good. This map's about to be tied after an 8-4 half for Vaporwave, or for Bionics in the first half on their attacking half. Suddenly, they're about to find themselves tied and broke for the most part. Kenny should save the rifle over, but that's it. Well, might. I think Chisel's shoulder might have just popped out for Kenny, and then he just turned and ran.
Doesn't want a repeat of last round. The last mistake they made.
Either way, mistakes or not, Vaporwave are rolling on this attack half. They now have tied this up. And yeah, that timeout feels right. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, looks like they really have to get their stuff in order for the defending side.
So if you're Bionics and you're looking at these last couple of rounds, right? Just frags everywhere for Vaporwave. These pushes down mid now by Chisel. What do you think they're trying to figure out? What do you think? Do you think they're trying to move players around, move utility, throw more utility, just take more aggressive?
An issue that we've seen the most is the issue of rotating from A to B. It's always not enough players at the right place at the right time to defend against the push. There's always the issue of running across the map. Yeah, that's what they're trying to figure out.
Well, as the timeout ticks down, we'll see if this conversation can pay off for them. They're not in a terrible position by any means, but they should be on a lighter buy, or maybe even just I see some armor and sheriffs, and that's about it, obviously. The rifle saved over will be kind of their crutch. What they're hoping to use is Kenny will look to put that to use. Meanwhile, full buy is probably for the rest of the map from Vaporwave. We'll see what they can do, as it looks like Bionics has one strat for save rounds, and that is push down mid, and this weird Viper wall is kind of playing to the advantage of their opponent as Kenny and that rifle go down.
Looks like they're all hesitant to peek because of the op.
I would be too. I think they recovered the rifle though, so they've got out alive at least, but now a 5v4 in Vaporwave's favor. It looks like they're kind of expecting that push. Should be around in Vaporwave's favor. They should be going up on this map after being down 8-4 at the half. Should, of course, being the operative word. You never know. In Valorant, there's always a chance, as I'm talking, Kiro finds one with the Headhunter. They continue to push out to him and Tadros. They're kind of trapping Vaporwave in this A site, who are now starting to push up, and Chisel has, with some fancy feet, found his way on top of the booth, but goes down. And Famzir, if he found that head, that would have been huge. Instead, a 2v3 retake. A lot of economic damage, but it's kind of meaningless at this point. Vaporwave, as I noted, have a lot of money, so it's kind of got to be the round here if Bionics are going to get anything for this. Moral victories might not do much for them. Yeah, 5k, 5k, 6k, yeah. And Audie's playing way back for the Hunter's Fury. Daddy with Brim is playing for the Phantom instead, and will find the last two. So Vaporwave on the verge of match point.
actually coming out ahead for
Bionics,
the first time in how many rounds?
the entire map, they have never led until this moment, and now they find themselves leading on a 4-round win streak. You know, they've taken 7 of the 9 rounds this half to claw their way back into the lead. And, you know, reminder, Bionics, the underdog here, are going to have to dig deep in this
They're going to
matchup.
be going up against 2 offensive ults, which we might see in play this round.
You see a lot of ults for Vaporwave online, and I expect that null command is going to be popped at some point. Bionics, I mean, must-win round, almost definitely, to keep their chances of an upset here on Icebox alive. You know, they'll still have map 2 waiting, but, you know, if they really want a chance to get back into the standings, 4 and 12, if, you know, there's 28 total matches you play, they're going to need a lot to even get to 500 or above and a chance at playoffs. As the hit starts to come in for Vaporwave, that null command did get popped, and they've taken just all of the space. It looks like this is a full retake for Bionics. And Hunter's Fury is going to come out defensively to try to slow down the plant, and it works. All right. And
Whoa,
it works
catches a
more than
kill.
works. Yeah, the Ring Cloud finds Devlin. Chisel will find one, but gets traded, so Daddy with Broom has to throw out the Viper's Pit. Oh, the lockdown comes out and the resurrection, so Bionics putting everything into this round, and this is actually a full rotation now for Vaporwave. But they don't feel confident in it yet. We'll see if Bionics catch wind of it. It looks like they're thinking about it. It looks like they have. It's a 5v3 for Bionics. They have to convert this. It feels like this would be heartbreaking to lose. And just, you know, a huge round. There's only 12 seconds left. This should be really, really hard for Vaporwave. Yeah, Spike's going to go down, but Wise now the last alive in a 1v4 has to go huge. Kiro finds the last 2 instead, picks up the operator as well, maybe.
We've seen Kiro Criminal on the op. Decides to drop it.
Either way, with the defuse coming through, yeah, Bionics managed to recover there. They played back for that. They seemed really ready for that push. And they played for it well.
They rotated across the map in prediction of that last-ditch attempt to plant the spike. It could have been fake, but they
were also... The initial hit they were really ready for. The Rain Cloud played really far back from A site, just within Hunter's Fury range, so that the null command from Devlin didn't hit him, so he could pop that when the spike started to get planted. Delayed the plant. Yeah, denied the plant, found a pick. Chisel finds one, but again the res punishes him as he's going fast through mid, but unfortunately he seems to have been noted. We'll see if he just continues. It looks like he doesn't want to stop. Unfortunately, Tadros would very much like him to stop, and makes him stop. And a 1-for-1, a 3-for-1. Okay, Kiro. A 4-for-1, eventually. 3-for-1, I guess, on long.
And it looks like Devlin's already been found out kitchen.
Well, they suspect he might be here. And they're right, and now Tadros will see him. He goes down for it, and this pop flash could get him something. He now knows the player's underneath him. We'll see what he can do. Ring around the rosy. Walls are made of plastic. But Kenny gets the better of Devlin. Would have been a lot of work to do had he found the frag anyway. So now, it looks like that timeout did pay off. Yeah, they lost the immediate round after, but they didn't have any money there. But Bionics win 2 that they desperately needed.
We're about to see a very long and drawn out overtime. And I'm
really
excited.
We will see. We've got 2 matches tonight. I'm kind of hoping we don't see a really long drawn out overtime, but you know, I would be excited nonetheless. My vocal cords maybe less. So Vaporwave had plenty of money, as has been noted a couple times, so they're full bot into this round. Bionics, I think, have double operator setup here, because we just saw, I think that's Famzera on the Killjoy with an op, and Kiro is sitting at this weird off angle and is going to find Devlin.
God.
Okay. I'd be upset about that one, as Devlin must be. He goes down. We'll see if the Rain Cloud peeks out. Oh, the timing. The Rain Cloud had peeked out a little earlier. He'd be going down right now. Instead,
Vaporwave is on a very bad footing.
They
B-site's been locked
desperately
down.
they I mean they have to have this round, of course. This is match point, map point for Bionics, who are the underdogs in this match. They lost this very map 13-3 on match day 2 in week 1. It looks like the hit is gonna be B for Vaporwave. They pop the Hunter's Fury. I think it might have tagged Tadros, but he doesn't go down. So they still have to find a way to break into this Viper's Pit. Chisel goes dashing in. He'll find the Rain Cloud. That's a big pick. That gives them access to the site. Though Famzera will find one. We'll find two. Chisel will get one back, but now he'll get shot in the back of the head. That leaves Audi in the 1v3, leaves him dead as Famzera cleans up a third headshot. Bionics pull out the map 1 upset. They win Icebox 13-11.
Man, I went into this expecting a roll. I don't know. I think I just saw it. That was just an amazing game from both teams. But Bionics really pulled through on this one.
Yeah, Bionics coming, huge underdogs. Again, lost this map 13-3 the first time. They're 4-12 in the standings at the very bottom. Meanwhile, Vaporwave in first place at 10-6 coming into this match. Bionics just took map 1.
All right, looks like
Bionics just
Ascent
took
is on the
map 1.
books for next map.
In fact, it is. We're going to go to break. We will come back with map 2 of Ascent to see if Bionics can 2-0 the number 1 team in Premier as they start to try to find their way back into the standings and potentially a late playoff run. Stay right here. We'll be right back. Yeah, especially on the attack side, like kind of counterintuitively almost on Icebox, you kind of have to play defense on the attacking side. You have to have, the Sage Wall is almost necessary if you ever want to go B, and we saw Vaporwave get punished for that as they dropped the first map to Bionics, but that map is over. We'll be getting into Ascent here soon. I'm sure we're just waiting on the lobby to be ready. Uh,
Oh yeah, I have been muted on vMix this entire time. I apologize.
well,
And
hi
I've been
everyone.
chill.
I've been talking to him, I promise, but unfortunately, none
Eh,
of you could hear him.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. I have not said a thing this whole time. He's going crazy, guys. He's going crazy.
Zera has already locked in that Killjoy that we saw in map 1. The Rain Cloud will lock in the Sova as well. They're going to keep their agents consistent. Audi opting for the Fade. I love the Fade pick on Ascent, and we see Vaporwave already pulling that out. Looks like
Does
Kira's going to
Daddy
lock in
with
the
Brim
Jet.
finally go Brimstone? Because he is very viable on this map.
We will see.
See Tadros switching out the Viper from last map into Astra.
Choose your agent.
Yes, as we are waiting for the lock-ins, Astra still, a good pick on this Ascent map, and I think with some of the other selections, the KO, the Killjoy, they work pretty well with the Astra as Daddy with Brim was not able to select an agent, having to restart his game, unfortunately. This happens for some reason way more often in custom game lobbies than anything else. If we want to switch back to casters here, as we will just wait for Daddy with Brim to return so we can get into map 2. Shouldn't be but a moment. While we wait on that, I would.
Oh,
Yep, as we
yeah.
wait on that, we are getting word he's hopped back in the lobby, so it shouldn't be but another minute or so before we get back into Agent Select. We did see the full comp from Bionics, very similar to their Icebox comp. I think they still had the Sova and the Killjoy. They opted for Astra, KO, and Jet. So actually, maybe not that similar, but similar, a similar two of Sova and Killjoy. Any thoughts on that comp on this map, Psych?
I'm just interested in seeing the fade. That's about it. I don't. You don't see fade too much in organized play, but you know,
She has
I'm
been
excited.
catching on a fair bit. One of the things that we didn't see on Icebox that we've, if you watch VCT streams, official Riot streams, and all that, Fade's become a pretty popular pick on Icebox. Definitely see her on Ascent. Fair few maps. She's got some pretty popular, pretty high pick rates on. I think Bind as well, Split. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
because
it's kind of that
you can throw that orb, the all-seeing orb, basically anywhere, and it'll cover the whole map.
it's kind of a pick your poison between, or not even your poison, but pick your preference between Sova and Fade, because they kind of provide similar things. Similar, not the same thing. Ascent, I think, is kind of the map where it's still a bit of a toss-up more than anything. Sometimes I think some teams in VCT have been running both, which is just an insane amount of. As we are getting back into Agent Select, hopefully, maybe we go a little faster this time around, as the teams should know what they're locking in. It looks like, and I'd be interested to see if this is the case, Vaporwave's not going to have a Killjoy, which bit of my and they're gonna have a Yoru. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But the lack of a Killjoy, if Wise does lock in this chamber, I imagine Wise is just very comfortable in chamber. The lack of a Killjoy on this map can hurt you. This is a very Killjoy, like a very strong map for Killjoy. She's really, really good in a lot of places on this map. The lockdown provides a lot of benefit, and of course, defensively, her utility is massive. And I don't think Chamber provides that same value. Still a good agent, of course, but has some more weaknesses, and it will get locked in. Now the Yoru pick. The Yoru pick will be interesting. Of the list of duelists, Yoru would be my 4th pick on this map, I would think.
Out of what, 5 or 6 duelists?
Yeah, I think you'd sooner see Raze, Jet, and Neon, to be honest. Which Chisel does play, but we'll see what they have cooked up with this Yoru. I don't know if this is a known factor for Vaporwave. I might quickly go check some of their match histories to see if they've played Yoru on a Sint before. I'm really interested to see this. So I'm actually going to go look through their match history. In the VDC here, let's see, they did play in a Sint map that they lost. Chisel. Okay, so this is like a known pick for them. This is something they pull out fairly often. They've won with it, I believe, as well. Let's see.
Well, maybe they know what they're doing. Can't really say for sure.
So this is actually pretty close to their. They've got some changes here. The main change being fade over the Sova, but otherwise this has been their standard comp. Chisel's dropped 28 in a match against Inferno, who is a pretty good team, on this Yoru on Ascent. So not just a nothing pick. I'm looking through their stuff here. It looks like they play this Yoru. Yeah, this is just every time they play Ascent. So, and Chisel's made it work fairly well so far. I'm tallying their record in my head really quickly, which is never a good idea. Looks like actually Ascent's one of their worst maps, though, that they actually
Those 2
play.
headhunter shots right off the bat. Oh! Through the box!
Nice shot there
So
by
this
Wise.
Cape was just sticking through.
As I'm scrolling Google Sheets, Wise is clicking heads. Tadros will eventually trade him out, but does take some damage for it. It looks like Vaporwave's like 2-3 on Ascent so far this season. But this Yoru pick has been pretty constant for them, and Chisel's dropped a 30 bomb on this map before. Of course, that was a 32 round game he did that in, so maybe not as notable as it could be. Either way, we'll see if this Yoru has any impact. He is over here on the A site, kind of pulling double duty, and he sees a head peek out, and he's going to go down to Kiro. So, picks going in the favor of Bionics. They're going to crunch into the A
surrounded.
site. Yeah, Daddy with Brim, again not on the Brim. Unfortunately, can't do enough there. So Spike's going to go down. They've got Famzera on the Lurk, taking control of Tree. Devlin, though, on the other Lurk, is taking control of A main for the defenders, as they've got to 2v3 this retake. And it looks like Famzera and Audi are going to fight here in a second.
Peek out from Cubby.
Oh god, I hate that Lurk, and Famzera shows exactly why. It works very, very well. Devlin, I think, is under the impression that there's 2 players behind Dice or towards Hell. It doesn't matter, though. The first one will kill him anyway. Hero finds 3 on the round. So despite the first pick by Wise with the Headhunter, Bionics trade through, take control of the A site, get spiked down, win the round. And they're up 1-0. Again. A reminder.
Like there's that Spectre full buy.
Yeah, reminder again, you know, I am still shocked, a bit in shock. Bionics are 4-12 coming into this series. They're now 5-12 after winning map 1. The Vaporwave at 10-6, top of the table, tied with Team Ego's anti-tilt. So a top team, you know, not by a huge margin by any means, especially after that loss, as Wise tries to push up, goes down to the Rain Cloud. Some disciplined play here out of Bionics, gets them
that
first
is
pick.
3 defenders moving into A main, while 5 people are pushing down mid towards Yoru. I don't know what's going on right now.
We will see what Chisel can do here. It looks like he just lost his portal. He's going to kind of be alone here on the site.
Oh, this is a 5-man push on the site.
This decoy is gonna have to do some serious work. It unfortunately doesn't do enough. The
Oh.
fake out unfortunately doesn't also shoot a gun, so the 5v1 does in fact just go to the wayside. And Kira will swing out, find Audi. It's a 2v5 retake now. Devlin up here in market does find one onto Tadros and gets his head ripped off. Daddy with Brim almost finds the trade, but shock dart damage,
Can't
Spectre
find any.
damage, yeah, will go down. And hey, difference this time, it's not the Rain Cloud being the only person that went down from Bionics in this second round. Don't ask me why I remember that, I just do. Anyway, as we're
Was
in
that
this
an
map
important
too,
point of the first map?
it was absolutely unimportant, but they will put... Actually, Kiro, I don't know, he didn't go down, but he actually throws his gun over to Tadros and the Spectre, and he's going to have the Blade Storm here.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Vaporwave do have a KO, so the null or the 0 point could kind of shut this down. But this could also make a huge impact in this round. You know, kind of one gun brought into the round, and for an attacking side, that's always scary. Famzera will just shoot the fake out, and it will go down. It does look like Devlin's pushed way up in B to grab the orb. I'm sure Bionics has heard that. Alright, so we've got the mid play coming in. Daddy with Brim swings out and goes down, so that's a rifle recovered. We'll see who they give it to. It looks like Kiro took it, because his team are both using utility. He's going to start to push into sight. They're going to cross through tree. Audi is the only defender on the site right now. Takes the first, goes down to the second. The Rain Cloud, meanwhile, finds Wise, who is trying to loop back around behind them on catwalk. So that is Bionics with full map control, or full site control, and Famzera on the lurk is about to be a problem. Yeah, it looks like Chisel and Devlin want to go through tree to get back to the site. Bionics, they have 3 on site and the spike down. It looks like one's going to retreat to main, and the push is coming back into the site. Kenny takes Chisel down. Tadros takes down Devlin. Full crossfire there from Bionics. Famzera was there if things got hairy to swing from behind. Unnecessary, though, as Bionics, again, I feel like I have to say this, the underdog in this series is up 3-0.
Combined, they have 4 deaths and
Yeah,
3 wins.
That's pretty good. That's going to force Vaporwave onto a save here. Looks like some Sheriffs, a Stinger, and a Headhunter will be what they're looking to get kills with. As Wise and Daddy with Brim are going to try to push down B main together. We'll see. Kiro's kind of looking the other way to look for the haunt. He can only push up so far, though. Kiro walks in. Kiro with a nice shot. And that will just get the gate crash out from Chisel. Snaps out, they can't find anything, so the first pick goes to Bionics, and with the gun advantage already in their favor. It's a pretty favorable situation, I'd say. Raincloud
That's the tap down mid from Sova.
Yeah, bit of a gun diff, I think, so far in this round. Audi is the only defender on the B side of the map, mind you. So if they decide to go B, which looks like they're just walking out B. There's nobody there. Audi could find one under the ring con. Will could find 2.
Oh
okay,
my
will find
God.
2. All right, this round just got a little more interesting. It's now a 3v3, and that's 2 rifles recovered for the attack or for the defenders.
Right on.
That is a very important 2-piece. We'll see what they can do with it. They're going to clear out all the close angles. They're going to figure out pretty quickly, I think, that all of the Bionics are on site. At least they're going to have to assume that. I think they're all triple stacked boathouse. Thanking the heavens, perhaps, that Audie's used all of his utility, but Devlin's going to find Famzera. It'll get traded, though. 2 trades go in the favor of Bionics. So now Audi, who already made the hero play in this round, can't find Kiro, can't find Tadros. Kiro cleans up with a 3K from the back of Boathouse. Audi made it close. Those 2 really clean shots on the Sheriff. Not quite enough.
It looks like not even 2 clean Sheriff taps can bring back Vaporwave from that save.
Yeah, again, just a save. So, that's what they got to be telling themselves. It was a winnable round, but you didn't expect to win it going in, and they didn't. So they're down 4-0. Not out of reach by any means, of course. As they will, it looks like there's a bit of a combo going in towards tiles. They want a lot of pressure here. Wise just found 2. Where did he peek? I think that was A main.
That was A
Yeah, that
main,
was
yeah.
A main. Looks like he started walking up A main and just tap tap. Or spray, I'm not sure which. We didn't quite catch that on our own POV. But that, alright, that's one way to get your defense, get your defense in a good position early. The Cosmic Divide also was coming through. Bionics were preparing for an A hit, and then just, you know, the entry fraggers both go down. And Devlin waiting finds Fam. Kiro's been noted. Spam, you know, could win this fight against Devlin, might make the round a little more win, and no, instead Wise will swing out and find Kiro. Tadros with a lot of work to do if he wants any chance at this round.
He was the lone survivor from Chambers Massacre in A main.
Yeah, just the 2 teammates' corpses lying on the ground next to him. He's gonna try to full fake a B hit. Yeah, he's doing the caterpillar strat. We'll see how much they buy it. It doesn't look like Chisel's buying, and Chisel is still staying on B. And Chisel is still killing Tadros on B. So, a flawless round for Vaporwave. What a big bounce back to get them on the scoreboard. Bionics, economically, will be fine, of course. Winning the first 4 rounds, especially converting the bonus, gives you a ton of money. But they do drop their first round. No 13-0 for them. Hardly an expected result, though. But they are still up 4-1 and going into this next round. Let's see what they do with their attack, Psych.
I don't think they'll be complaining too much from 4-1. Still got a full buy. Looks like they've left the spike and spawn for a default play. Maybe
And
they just
actually,
forgot it.
Perhaps, or they kind of played around this. Devlin, maybe they've caught a trend here. I don't know. Maybe more VOD review going on in this league than perhaps some expected, because they got Devlin to pop null command really early, and so that's just gone now. He also threw out the 0 point. They pretty much know nobody's on B. Devlin's holding a really aggressive angle. It buys them that space, the null command, but it doesn't slow down any push from the Bionics, who have now regrouped towards A main. A difficult push out of A main, but Chisel right now, the only player holding it. And here comes the execute. Tadros throwing in the utility. The fake out from Chisel will be the first thing that swings. Tadros, though, will take him down despite being fully blind. However, the Nightfall comes in as they're trying to get onto the site. So Wise finds Tadros. That might have just been through the smoke. Hero will find Daddy with Brim in rafters, and the spike should go down.
Spike planted.
So Bionics do
trying to
eventually
get a pick
win the
spamming
site.
out. Heaven.
And it looks like he's got this lineup to throw this on Jenny. That's actually going to force Kiro to move. As the retake starts to come in, this angle is always awful to fight on for both players, as the Rain Cloud and Devlin both get low. Wise, though, peeks out from the door. We'll find when Adi finds the Rain Cloud. Bamzera, though, one to clean up. Give himself a chance. Give Kiro a chance.
Ooh.
Nobody with enough of a chance, as Adi takes the head off of Kiro. The retake goes the way of Vaporwave despite the lesser numbers, and they take the round.
Now it looks like that retake might have just... Oh no. Bionics economy is still on top. And we're seeing Devlin with an Odin. Okay.
It looks like he might... Nope, no, he's going to stay with it. He is playing towards B, so, you know. Oh, no, he's
That
actually
is
not.
right.
He's playing Catwalk. He's probably planning to spam down these doors towards tiles or these walls.
I wonder what sort of a play this is.
Kiro finds Audi in mid, and Devlin almost goes down to spam. So I'm uncertain if the Odin was supposed to spam there, but it doesn't work. And then Chisel gets baited. Okay. Bionics
What a start to the round.
Yeah, a bit of a default out of them, finds them 2 quick frags. Looks like the B site will be their destination. We'll see if Famzera decides to invest in the lockdown. So far, no call. Daddy with Brim is just... It looks like they're all regrouping back towards the other site, back towards A. So Bionics will actually have B for free. They are going to pop the null command. So, you know, if you're Vaporwave, at least you get something out of this site control as the ultimate gets used by your opposition. This is going to be a really difficult retake, though. We will see if they can pull it off. Low health on one of these members here in Devlin, who again has this ode not the best for swinging around corners with. Very slow movement speed, of course. And oh, the 0 point also goes off. We've got a lot of members to deal with, do Vaporwave. We'll see if they commit to this retake. It looks like they're going to. Out comes the paranoia, and in comes the push. Devlin goes down first. Kiro. Yeah, Kiro and
That's
Famzera.
Firing range for Bionics.
Yeah, a nice crossfire there. This is a pretty strong first half already. I think Vaporwave still has a buy behind this. Yeah, Wise is gonna, and they're gonna actually call a timeout with Vaporwave. But yeah, Vaporwave will have a buy because Bionics has the Tour de Force and had over 5K when the timeout was called.
I wonder if Vaporwave's is a bit shaken from the 5-2 score on the board right now.
Yeah, we saw this in map 1 too. Like that 8-4 half for Bionics on their attacking side. They've been working. They've got some attacking strats down pat on both of these maps. And Icebox, you know, a little, I think, more expected on Icebox. You know, Icebox, not necessarily attacker favored, but I think, you know, you can expect some attack advantaged halves on Icebox more often. But Ascent, I mean, 5 rounds on attack on Ascent is already a good half. Like that's already a fine half.
Yeah, of course. If it ends 7-5, you know,
that's still a good half.
It's already a victory in your book. Yeah.
This is the most defensive map. Obviously, doesn't go hugely defensive over like tons of rounds, but still, you know, tends to favor defenses. And you know, I don't think either of these
there are those tight choke points that you can spam util at.
Yeah, I don't think either of these comps is particularly defensive or offensive, even with the differences. So 5-2 half already for Bionics. It's pretty big. As it looks like they want to go fast A here. We're going to see Kiro dash in. He actually got grabbed by the Seas, though. And they haven't found... Oh, no, this is Daddy with Brim we're spectating. Okay, we changed spectator while Kiro dashed into the site. But Daddy with Brim does find 2 from the off angle. But eventually, Bionics will win out the trades 3-2. And Devlin's going to have to retake with a judge and against a lockdown. Our observers pulled a bit of a fast one on me with that switch. And Chisel's actually going to get detained. This is going to slow the retake down even more. I'm going to call this round probably over. They're not going to have a lot of time here.
Bionics are finding a 6th.
They've got a shotgun. Let's see what Devlin can do. Well, no, okay.
Finds no damage.
2 headshots, dude. This Bionics team is playing extremely well. That was a nice little
surprisingly organized for, I suppose, the last team on the list.
Yeah, maybe starting to really get their practice in, starting to find their synergy. The advantage of playing in Premier and Contender, our top and bottom leagues, is that they have only 8 teams in them. And because of that, they play a longer season. They play a double round robin, so you get 14 total matches. This is the second time these teams have played. So Bionics, despite a very rough 4-12 record coming into this series, they've still got time. They're going to play 28 total matches. They could finish 4 games above 500 if they went on a crazy streak. They probably won't, but they've got plenty of time to still figure things out. Whereas our other 2 tiers, as Tadros finds the first pick on a chisel, have 12 teams. They only play a single round robin, so only 11 matches. And they're actually about to close out the regular season. They are currently, we're going to see later tonight, a Masters team. They are playing, they're down to their final 3 series. So things are getting down to the wire for them. Meanwhile, up here and down in Contender, up here in Premier, they got time left. And Bionics looks like they're starting to put it together, and this looks like a pretty scary team.
Teleport's ready.
As they're preparing for this A split, the Rain Cloud trying to orb bait.
It's like Chambers in a cubby down mid. He's about to walk into the crosshairs of Astra.
Yep, Tadros will find that one. Wise looking, well, not particularly wise to the lurk.
You are divided.
This could be a
30
somewhat
seconds
ill-advised rotate from Bionics. I mean, all the players for Vaporwave were on A, but they're going to be a little late to rotate back. Okay, it looks like it will work out for them. The Gravity Well will kind of force, and the Cosmic Divide will force... Yeah, this is nice use of utility. This forces Vaporwave to just wait. Spike's going to go down before they can get back up here. They have worse guns, so they're going to kind of just spill out, I would think, as the Cosmic Divide fades. Retake coming in for Vaporwave on lesser guns, but they do find the first. Tadros, though, finds his third. Kenny will find two himself.
Was that an attempted knife from Astra?
I think Tadros was just fully blinded. I think somebody flashed Tadros, perhaps his teammate, and he was just staring into the void. Did find one though.
That's right, that's right.
I mean, these are just, like, that was an eco round for Vaporwave. Don't get me wrong. Bionics, by all means, should be expected to win that round, but that was, you know, some really good utility usage behind that Cosmic Divide. They made sure to stall out the potential pushback in, and, you know, it paid off. There was no unexpected push that could ferry the spike to site safely. Like, this is really pretty solidly played out of Bionics. They're looking like a really, really solid team.
Oh, looks like yours about to confront Astra.
And
finds the crossfire.
Chisel. Cover going out. He actually could have found a lineup there, but Chisel's just kind of having a rough map so far. I think he has one kill. Bit of an unfortunate run. Not many members of Vaporwave have a lot of kills either. Bionics have been just thoroughly dominating this map. Their utility usage and their gunplay have both been very good. Looks like they're going to group up in A main. We'll see if they clear out this wine position from Daddy.
Daddy!
Brim,
Daddy coming!
Finds one. Can't find more than that though. Daddy with Brim goes down. Audi here gonna be the next layer of defense. It'll fall to Devlin after that. It is going to be a 2v2. Devlin kind of flashes himself. Devlin's going to get shot in the back. Yeah. Vaporwave had a bit going there. Yeah, Vaporwave had a bit of a chance in that round with the little staggered defense Daddy with Brim. If he could have found one more headshot, if the spray, you know, the RNG of the spray maybe had gone in his favor a little bit more, that round could have turned on its head. Instead, you know, pretty even trades for Bionics, but that works out with the lurk from Famzera and the numbers advantage coming into that.
I can't believe it. Vaporwave just cannot buy.
Yeah, they can't buy. They have to save for the last round. And, I mean, we're looking at a 9-win half for Bionics as Vaporwave is just charging down A main. They are just digging for any strat. They will find the first frag, though. They're going to recover a rifle.
That is the 5-man push down A main. Looks like B is just completely uncontested.
And that should allow Bionics to get the spike down. So, one kill for a spike plant. They still have lesser guns for the most part. We'll see what Vaporwave can do on the retake attempt. And again, they kind of just need any round they can get here. So if they, you know, if that just mad push down mid can find them around, that would be huge. We're going to see the first fight. And Wise actually finds Tadros in that off-angle corner back in spawn. So now it's a 5v3. Time, though, against the side of Vaporwave, but kills are going in their favor. Wise finds another. Kiro kind of left on his lonesome, but Famzera finds two. So now just to deal with the last, Kiro finds Daddy with Brim. It's gonna leave Famzera in the 1v2, finds the first. Spike is being defused. He swings out, he finds the headshot.
Oh my.
Oh, what a flick by Famzera. He's just gonna tank the Spike explosion in glory. What a huge play!
Every single direction.
Bionics it was a 2v5, right? And then Kiro and Famzera especially go huge. That was an incredible play by Famzera. Those last two peeks, clean peek onto Chisel, finds the last frag, and he found two in main as well that we didn't even see. What a play! Vaporwave, we're saving into that round, but, you know, like I said, okay, Chisel will find one, finds a free kill, but like I said, not a lot of moral victories left to be found when you're down 9-2. However, that shot actually just missed. It will be a 1-for-1. It looks like the order for Vaporwave has been, we're going to go aggro, because nothing else has been working. Oh, Tadro saw him! He
Oh
doesn't know he saw
my.
him! Neither
No,
player knows
no,
that they saw each
can't
other!
be.
Oh my goodness! Chisel's gonna get the frag. Daddy with Brim's gonna swing out. Chisel will find Kimmy.
There's the
What?
9-3.
So a 9-3.
Switching sides.
Vaporwave do manage to find one at the end off of just pure unfiltered aggression, which, hey, maybe that bodes well for your attacking half. If getting aggressive on the last round of the defensive half was a working formula, then, you know, well, time to be aggressive the whole half. Wise leads the way for Vaporwave with just 11 frags, though. Kiro with on 16, Tadros on 13. Famzera is 14 or 11 and 4, which is a bit of a silly scoreline if you ask me. 4 deaths in a whole half is insane. Pretty much,
Hey,
dude went
good for
down.
Famzera.
Dude they either won the round or Famzera died. Like, you know.
Look at this attacking comp. There's Omen, KO, and Yoru. 3 flashers.
Yeah, true. Kind of
Maybe
4
that
if you
was
count
the reason
Fade.
for their downfall on defense.
Yeah, we'll see as they start to push down mid. They're gonna go for a cat split, and the door's actually closed now. Kiro is kind of in no man's land, and he's gonna spot one, spots the Prowler as well. That tells him there's 2. Actually, door is open. They might have broken it. Anyway, Vaporwave should be getting access to site. They have Devlin lurking on the other side of the map, mind you. He's going to be a factor potentially late in this round, but right now the trades are starting to come in. Tadros finds 2. Chisel will finally take him down, but Kiro finds another. Chisel, the last alive on this site, going to have to pull off some serious heroics and can't. We'll see if they know Devlin's here, but he's got a lot of work to do in a 1v4. Gets the first for free on the low health Kiro, but you know, if anyone goes down, that's might be who you want. He's going to go for the fragment lineup. He's got a lot of utility, so he's going to dump all of that in. Yeah, they're all suppressed.
With the 0 point.
And we'll see. He's hoping they're all flashed as he jumps into the site, takes the duel with Famzera. Famzera refuses to die, kills him instead.
He refuses to die.
That could just be the straw for Bionics. They don't even get the spike down, do Vaporwave. Bionics get their 10th round. They're about to 2-0 Vaporwave. Who, coming into this series, Bionics, 4-12, bottom of the table in Premier. They got 2-0'd by Vaporwave 13-6 and 13-3 the first time they played. Meanwhile, Vaporwave 10-6, tied for first place in Premier. And, you know, fully expected. I think we fully expected them to 2-0 this series. You know, Bionics, I think, would have been happy with a split coming in here, but now it looks like this is a dominant map 2 after a close map 1. This could be a 2-0 pretty easily.
Oh, he mixes up the grenade.
It doesn't end up mattering. I'll actually swing out and get a kill anyway. Chisel will gate crash out of there, and it's just going to get shot in the back by Kiro, who's on an adventure. He actually does go down to Audi. So, 1 trade for Vaporwave, but 1 trade does not yet a round make. They still have to contend with the 3v4 and the superior weapons out of Bionics. Most of them on Classics, Audi on the Sheriff. The only buy here, as Bionics look to put 11 on the board, Vaporwave just look to stay in this. Devlin walks out. Devlin is taking a... Oh, no. Oh, poor Devlin. Messes up the jump slightly, and that's all it takes when you don't have armor. Killjoy utility. We'll clean him up. No trade possible on that, so these last 2 members are going to have to... Yeah, these last 2 are going to have to make a huge play. They got 13 seconds. Daddy with Brim. Gonna be contacting here against the Rain Cloud. Will shoot. And yeah, it doesn't matter. They both go down. Okay.
Well, that was a disaster for Vaporwave.
Perhaps not a disaster, but you know, it was just a save round. They kind of they didn't opt to force in. They didn't get the spike down in the first round, so they didn't really have any money to force into it anyway. It's maybe not a disaster to lose that round, but everything else, perhaps this 3-11 scoreline, you could call a disaster if you felt so inclined. As Bionics are rolling right now, and they are just 2 rounds away from taking this. Vaporwave will be on the superior weapons, though. A couple of these players are resting on light armor, as the first duel just ends up being a dash away. Vaporwave, though, trying to figure out how to get out of this smoke, because Audie's going to find two in mid.
Audie just finds 2. Top
Another
mid.
lineup, kind of. I think we saw one of these in the first half. Two players just kind of peek the same angle, go down. Audie watching the cat push will get both.
I suppose that's the cue to rotate. And
It does look like it, but they are going to probably walk into the setup of Famzera's Killjoy. We'll see if this gets work done. It would be their hope in this round because, again, just Spectre bias from the previous round, as this is the bonus round, as we're going to see the fake out get broken by Kiro. A lot of spam coming in from Vaporwave as they're trying to get out of this choke, but the Rain Cloud with spam finds the first. So they're having trouble getting out. It does look like a gate crash was taken into the back of the site, but Chiseled goes down eventually. And the Rain Cloud takes down Wise. It's now a 2v2.
30 seconds
So
left.
Vaporwave can't get out of the choke. Audie's still stuck behind it. The spike will go down for Devlin. But they have to hold off this retake. Famzera, though, clearing too
oh,
many
it's
angles.
not looking good.
Doesn't look. Audie, though, is going to get run and gunned down by the Rain Cloud. Devlin, though. Devlin is thankfully in a spot to trade. Bionics don't convert the bonus, but that economic damage to Vaporwave is really rough. They have to force into this round. They don't want to give up, 12. So they're
It
going to
looks
have
like
to
the
buy
plan
Beyond
here
light
is
armor.
for Wise to get the ult orb and immediately ult to try to get his hands on a gun he can use.
Swarm grenade.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea, given, it looks like I think he might have dropped a rifle over. Their money is bad. If they lose this round, they're going to be on scraps, playing up against match points. So a round they probably need to win badly. And with some players alive as well, their economy is in a bad way. They will get that Tour de Force online. Kiro will avoid the fragment, will just eventually have to dash out. His position was noted. Chisel tries to get a pick on Cat, goes down. So now a 4v5 for Vaporwave, not looking great. Again, a lot of these players on lighter armor doesn't necessarily factor in too much all of the time, but against this Killjoy utility they're about to have to push into, it might. As the Swarm Grenade comes out to slow down the push, I hear Gravity Well as well. Devlin does want to lurk, and this lurk could be important. We'll see if Vaporwave, a couple, in the pistol round, they played a little faster than the lurk could come.
Oh, is KO about to catch two?
Devlin catches
Out
two.
in the open? No.
Looking the other way, but he can't. He kind of split focus, ends up field goaling the rest of the
30
spray.
seconds left.
Nobody goes down. And now with this Nebula in their way, Vaporwave have still not gotten out of B main. They're going to have to. They have 20 seconds left. Oh, that hurts. That was just through the smoke.
Oh, the spray completely blind.
This is a rough one for Vaporwave. They've got to just run out into the crossfire. Audie does well to even find one from that position. As Bionics, the underdog, as I feel like their record coming into this series is the score of this map, 4-12.
Octuple match point.
Yeah, they have octuple match point. They have 8 match points, and this first one especially is really brutal for Vaporwave. There's a Bucky on board right now. Looks like he's going to opt for the Sheriff instead, but best gun is Chisel and his light armor Vandal by. Devlin will have a Guardian. Daddy with Brim hasn't even
Oh,
bought
he's just got a
anything.
pistol. He's just got a pistol.
Can I use that?
They're going to go for the fast A hit. Might be their only option at this point. They are going to throw out the Null Command and the Nightfall, so they've got some ultimates to work with here. It'll push everybody off the site. Perhaps wisely playing a retake will be Bionics, as the spike should be going down and is. Devlin will get that downhill. Looks like everybody dodges the Rain Cloud's Hunter's Fury, so this will be just a straight retake with the late lurk of Chisel that might have just gotten noticed. And it looks like it did. So Chisel throws out the fake out, but he can't
He's
find the
found.
shots at first. Okay, does find the Rain Cloud. So it's a 4v5, 4v4 on site though, as it looks like the call for Bionics is just to ignore it. As Kiro finds one with the Blade Storm, Devlin will trade. It's going to be another set of trades. It's now 1v1 on the site. Famzera will find the player. Going for the defuse, Chisel has to run Does he have enough
Oh, this
time?
is
I don't think Chisel can
impossible.
get around the corner. I'm pretty sure this is
No.
just a defuse for Famzera. The
Defenders
lurk
win.
doesn't. He just saw him.
So tragic.
And
2-0 from Bionics. We
Bionics
just saw that.
2-0. The number 8 team, the bottom of the table, last place team coming into tonight, have just 2-0'd the first place team, and map 2 was convincing.
Oh my god. Well, we certainly know what they'll be. That-
Incredible. That was entirely, especially, I mean, map 1 was close, it was gritty, it was a great first half from Bionics, and they barely held on in the
we were
second
almost
half. They
about to
ended up,
see overtime. Yeah.
yeah, you were calling it. You thought there'd be a really long overtime, and I kind of in my own head was agreeing with you, even if I didn't want to speak it into existence for my poor vocal cords. But then map 2 was just a bit of a dismantling by Bionics. They had a plan. They played so well in that series. Perhaps Vaporwave picked themselves back up. They were playing with a sub. You never know what kind of impact that could have. I thought Daddy with Brim played admirably, played fairly well in both maps, but you
Yeah.
never know when you're missing a player if that might upset team dynamics or anything. But either way, Bionics did not play looking like a bottom team right there. They looked very capable, very in control, especially on those attack halves. I am really interested to see where they go from here. Again,
Of course.
long shot to claw back in the playoffs. They'll be 6-12 now, and you'd think they'd have to get at least a 500 record to get into playoffs. So 14-14 would be what they're shooting for. It's possible. Anything's possible. We'll see if they can pull it off. But for now, that is our first match of the night. We will be back in about 15 or so minutes for match 2, which will be a Masters tier match between the Agents of Ash, Cursed Kings, and the Grass Touchers Triblade. So stick around, and we'll be back for that soon.
All right. See you guys around.
Psych. How'd you feel about match 1? How you feeling about match 2?
Well, I don't know much about the two teams going into this, so it's going to be all on you to provide background information. But, it's going to be pretty hard to match that upset we had just in the last match. I don't know if that excitement can really be recreated now. But still looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing the big
unfortunately,
match.
no chance at such a huge upset this time, but we go to Master Tier for this one. We have Tri-Blade of the Grass Touchers against Cursed Kings of the Agents of Ash. Both of these teams sitting about in the middle of the table. Tri-Blade at 8-8, Cursed Kings at 7-9. Both these teams fighting for that last playoff spot. I believe Tri-Blade comes into this tied with like 4 teams for the last playoff spot. 3 teams, it looks like. And actually, no, the last playoff spot, they ended up getting pushed out. Either way, huge playoff implications on the line here. Both these teams kind of end up on the bubble right now coming into this match. And, Masters, most of the matches have already concluded at this point. So sometime between match 1 and match 2, I might check on where those are at. But for the moment, these two teams both could really use this win. Tri-Blade, especially down at 8-8, if they drop to 8-10, would be, on the outside looking into the playoffs. And I think even if Cursed Kings get O2'd here, go down to looking in as we get into Agent Select, it's going to be Ice Box for map 1. Tri-Blade will be defending first. Cursed Kings will be attacking. All of these players would love to troll me, so that is what they're doing. I'm good friends with a lot of the
Oh, we're
players
seeing a
in this
lot of
match.
Yoru picks here.
Yeah, I see a lot of a lot of troll hovers. Master was the tier I played a lot of combines in. I met several of these players, know a lot of them pretty well, and they are messing with me. Ezra, perhaps Ezra and Dan might be the only two with serious hovers so far, as we just kind of wait to see the real picks.
Oh, there's Zoro on Sova.
Yeah, and I actually just realized I need to share something with you, Syke, so I'm going to send that to our Discord channel real quick. Some information you could probably go with
Could
having.
probably use that. Yeah.
So first 2 locks come in. Actually, Zora's going to lock in the Sova. 10-4 locks in the Sky. Not a pick I see a ton on
Choose
Icebox.
your
We'll
agent.
be interested to see how the Cursed Kings make that work. And it looks like everyone gets told to choose their agent. It's actually going to start hovering serious picks. Trisente locks in the Chamber. I believe that is his most played agent. Shrug on the Jet. He is the entry fragger for Cursed Kings. And Mini will lock in the Viper. Shiny Core on the Viper. And Ezra will be on the Sky. So we actually got dueling Skies. I didn't expect that. Jax will pull out the Reyna.
Oh
So it'll be
my.
Reyna versus Jet as the only This is very different from the compositions we saw in our first series, our premiere series today. What
These
do
are
you make of
basically
this?
mirrored comps.
No Sages. Yeah, and there's no Sage. What do you make of that?
No
What do you think?
Sage, huh? I believe Ezra was hovering Sage for a moment just during the agent select, but Sage is pretty customary to see at least one on either team in Icebox, so I suppose I don't know what to think.
I don't think anybody knows what to think. Just kidding. I got some thoughts. I think these attack halves are going to be potentially pretty brutal. Cursed Kings get to go at it first. We'll see what they can do. They're going to have to make a lot of space if they want to get the spike down. As they set up, it looks like on the A side initially. And yeah, I just the lack of Sage pick is huge on this map, and it's going to be. I think we're going to see some frustrated planting attempts. A lot of A hits, I have a feeling, because I don't think either of these comps support B very well.
Seems both these team comps are relatively attacker-sided, with the Sky, the Duelist, and the Chamber, especially. It's the first confrontations coming in.
Yep, and we see Tri-Blade starting to rotate. They got 4 over here for the defense as Cursed Kings start to push in. Shrug will find the first pick onto Verdict. As the rest of the team pushes up, they start to go for the plant. We'll see, I would think. Maybe not. There we go. Zoro starts to get the spike down.
Spike planted.
Again, the A site a little easier to get spiked down, so they will do so. Everybody kind of gets healed up on both sides by the regrowth from the skies. As the retake starts to come in, we see that Trailblazer getting a tag. We'll see shots missed by Dan, as that'll be a rendezvous out. Dan now getting spammed through the box, goes down to Trisente. It's going to be a trade for Sharny, but she goes down. And it's going
there's
to
no
be
hope
Jax
for
in the
Jax.
4.
No,
So
no!
up for the heal, goes down to Shrug. Everyone at every angle, everyone was whiffing, but eventually goes down. Just 2 picks for Triblade as they lose the first round. Cursed Kings up 1-0. So a quick hit, a fast hit, came in. Shrug found that pick, got the spike down, did Cursed Kings, and then played the retake well, played the retake up and heavily contested. Fortunately for Triblade, they couldn't find too many frags to go their way. So they will go on to the save, and what it is just rushing mid on save rounds on Icebox just a strat I don't know about, because that's what Triblade are doing as they power their way through mid while Cursed Kings just takes the free and freely given A site. They're going to go for the plant on the default spot. There is a swarm of Triblade members, a quartet even, trying to flank around. We'll see if they find anybody looking the wrong direction. As Shrug's going to push all the way out in the spawn, finds Verdict. First trade starting to come through. Sharny will find one to trade back, but she will go down. Shrug will find a third with that Spectre. That was a nice flick by Dan, but it's only with the classic, so he goes down. Ultimately, a 4 alive bonus round, or second round.
That's got to be the 5th
King.
time tonight I've seen a save rush down mid with pistols. And I don't think any of them have turned out well. It's fun to watch.
That might have been the best one because they actually made it through mid and didn't just immediately get mowed down.
Of course.
But Triblade will get onto the full buy here. We will see Cursed Kings still on the Spectres. Sharny will hit her lineup. Or just her one-way orb. As Cursed Kings honestly might hit A 12 times this half, if not, 13 somehow. Just a really A-centric comp on both sides of the map, I would think. Pretty much identical comps in the first place. As they start to push out, Shrug is going to dash in with the Tailwind and not get all the way up. It does spot Jax, who I think was shooting somebody else, so nobody goes down. Jax forced to swing out, gets one, goes down to Shrug, so that's a rifle recovered. As the spike is planted, and Trisente gets a headshot onto Dan0, who's now very low. Trisente then finds Verdict with the Headhunter. So now it's a 3v4 retake for Triblade. Looks like Cursed Kings will reset back. Dan0 will get some regrowth healing, and we'll start to push peek back out. Shrug playing from behind this box. Ezra will find the first on their way back into the site. Shrug will find one, but goes down through the box. Zoro finds Sharny, so it's going to leave Dan0 in the 1v2. He's got low health. 10-4 swings him, shoots him down.
It's another round for Cursed Kings.
Yeah, that's a bonus round conversion. That's pretty big for them. Just hard. Their play style right now is just go fast, go A. So far, it looks like they're actually going to perhaps alternate sites here finally. But so far, it's looking pretty good for them. Triblade just struggling to get frags, struggling to deal with the overwhelming pushes. You can see nobody on Triblade with more than 2 kills. So far, still recoverable, of course. They will be on a save this round. We're going to see the rare Icebox shotgun from Verdict. Unfortunately, it looks like it's on the wrong side of the map. Never fun to retake with one. At least it's not a shorty. As the hit starts to come in towards B. As it's going to get noted.
Oh, Ezra's going to have to defend a 5-man push with rifles.
Yeah, no, this is not going to go well for him. Yeah, he gets pinched and goes down. Sharny couldn't help him. Sharny goes down to Shrug.
No damage taken so far, Cursed Kings.
It continues to be that way. Shrug's just jumping through Viper walls and toxic screens. It will take one down. Verdict. And Dan0 now left in the 1 or 2v5. Dan0 with a nice
Wasn't even aiming that way.
He's gonna need a lot more. Verdict's gonna find a free kill onto
Does he
Zora.
turn to the
We'll see if
right?
he
Does
gets
he turn to the right?
from the right.
He
Oh, he
does!
does turn to the right. Mini pulled the
He
knife out
finds
there.
the rifle.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
Tricente will
can't
take
keep up the
shut
momentum.
Verdict down. Not punished yet. Mini hasn't been punished for pulling the knife out. And it looks like they should. Yeah, Tricente will clean up Dan Zero on low health. Maybe a bit too much trolling from Mini, who pulled out the knife. Looked like he expected no clearance. Something about the way that timeout came in right as Dan Zero was jumping and he just fell to the floor. It was really funny to me. I didn't know
falls
gravity.
down.
I didn't know gravity still worked while the characters were frozen. That's really funny. Triblade, though, going into their second gun round here, a big gun round. They definitely really, I feel like they could really use this round if they want to stay in this match. So they call the timeout. They're going to talk it through. Bit of an early timeout maybe, but called nonetheless.
Cursed Kings has 2 ults that they could possibly use on offense. The Blade Storm and Tour de Force.
Yeah, I think those 2 ults probably won't come out. I mean, they might, given that their economy is really good. You know, those usually reserved for eco frags. I think Shrug has told me himself he's not very good with the Blade Storm, so we might never see him use that this half, to be honest. The Tour de Force could come out from Tricente if circumstances allow. I think the Hunter's Fury online.
It could be a post-plane option.
Yeah, or just, you know, get a tag, get a pick for Zora. That would put them in good favor. You know, you always want to get your opponent on the back foot after their timeout. And actually, that's an instant rip. So Dan Zero goes down.
And it
that
pays off.
Jex, though, will find Shrug in the duelist battle, but that actually just instantly broke his rendezvous. So when he tried to teleport back, he couldn't, and he just had to drop off and ended up dying. As this push through mid is going to find Verdict looking the wrong direction. Jex, the last defender here, finds one, but can't dismiss fast enough. Had the Empress popped. Viper's Pit's going to be popped on a B. This is going to be a hard 2v3 retake. These site players will rotate and they're going to plant outside the Viper's Pit as well. Only advantage for the last 2 Triblade players is that everyone on Cursed Kings is looking the wrong direction at the moment. But
that's right, huh?
It looks like they're starting to catch wise, as I think they're looking this direction now. And yeah, that guiding light will confirm some presence here. As the snakebite wards them off a little bit, we'll see if they start to push up. 10-4 is very low, so this is doable. And maybe Sherny goes down after getting tagged by the Owl drone. Ezra's just going to turn and burn to save. Are
they going to get out of there quick enough? They are. They are.
Yeah, Cursed Kings, another nice round. They just kind of stomped their way through mid. But I don't think Triblade heard them. I'm not sure how, but they find the first and end up getting a 1-for-1 on the second, and then Spike goes down, and with the Viper's Pit, it's nearly impossible, and they still had pretty much all of their utility available as well. It's just a really hard retake. Doesn't work out, so Triblade forced onto the save again, now down 5-0. This is a rough start for Triblade. Still
It looks like they're
back
left on a half buy.
Yeah, Ezra will have the rifle he saved from last round, but nobody else on really. Okay, well, the Tour de Force comes out. Always a you know, a scary weapon, as Dan Zero will be peeking onto the rafters here, onto belt here with the Tour de Force. It looks like a heavy A rotation has already come in for Triblade. They're just expecting the hit here at this point, as they've seen no B presence or just don't want to play for it. Like, their whole team is on the mid or towards A. Sherny is the closest.
Do you think the rotate fast enough?
I don't.
10-4 is already on site.
So. Yeah, 10-4 is way past sight. 10-4 is going to catch Dan Zero looking the other direction, but thankfully for Dan Zero, he was full sprinting, so he actually doesn't go down. But 10-4's position is very disruptive, as the spike's going to go down. This makes it really difficult for the members of Triblade. Though Ezra's got to be nearly seeing that head. It'll be
Viper comes out on top.
Yeah, okay. There's actually another player lurking mid, but Dan0 with the Tour de Force finds one. This round looking a little more doable in the 3v4. We'll see if this late lurk from Mini can find anything. No, it'll just find a headshot from Sherny. Still hop the Viper's pit as they start to push up onto site. Tricente and Shrug spamming through the smoke to try to stop a potential defuse. Shrug's just going to get shot.
Oh, it's the quick scope from Yellow.
Dan0 getting stuck. Tricente finds one. Dan0 is that 3 or 4 with the Tour de Force. I think it's just 3. A nice round, not quite a thrifty by rule, but a thrifty in spirit. Nothing but one rifle in the Tour de Force, which, you know, it's a force of itself. Gets Triblade their first round.
Yeah, Dan0's Tour de Force just won that whole round. No doubt about it.
Yes, a nice pick. And 10-4's position could have been more valuable, but he does actually just go down. He didn't actually find anybody. Mini was lurking through mid as well and found a pick at the same time, so I thought that was a trade, but it was not. 10-4 just went down to Ezra, I think. Sky on Sky, perhaps. And that ended up costing them the round, as we're going to see this lurk set up for the Viper player on Cursed Kings Mini. That's who it is.
They're right on top of each other.
Yeah, Cursed Kings are going towards A. First pick, though, goes to Dan0 with the Operator that he has pulled into this round, so that's a nice kill onto Shrug. And Mini now storming down the tube after having tripped on the trademark. I believe that is the defensive Poison Orb actually popped, which will help him get away. Tricente and Verdict, that was a weird off angle for both of them, but Verdict catches Tricente first, I guess, gets the kill. That's going to leave Cursed Kings in a 3v5 to try to take some site presence. 10-4 will blind Jex and find the pick. So,
he's going to get spammed out.
He gets spammed a little. He's very low, but he's not dead yet. Sherny throws a Snakebite to stop the default plant, but it's not even coming through yet. They're just trying to take map control. Mini will kill one. They tried to swing out. Sherny once, I don't think, had her gun out, but she doesn't go down. Spike finally being planted. So Cursed Kings have brought it back from a 3v5 to a 3v3 again as Triblades start to go for this retake. Dan0 will be with the Operator, not the best retake weapon in the world. As he should get pinged by this recon dart, he will fall back behind the Toxic Scream. That allows repositioning. Dan0 is going up into heaven.
No, it doesn't seem to the left.
Zero goes down. Ezra gonna get dropped on by Mini. Well played by Cursed Kings in the 3v5. They bring it all the way back and they win the round. That is a heartbreaker for Triblade.
Need a drop.
Just too many fights early lead to the 3v3, and then Cursed Kings take advantage of the many positions of Icebox and a couple of off angles and some just nice shots, I assume. Couldn't see all of the duels, of course. Go their favor. They win the round, and Triblade, you know, just really struggling to find anything again. Not really much of a weapon. Sherny will have the Phantom because she, I think, had some extra money, but the rest of the team looked like they were on pistols or specters. Not the buy you want, as they're going to contest mid. Meanwhile, Cursed Kings are just walking it down B long.
Triblade is so concerned with mid control, they've just left B up for grabs.
We'll see, though. You can still delay on this as the Viper's Pit will come down. Sherny will throw in the...
Spike planted.
Oh, and Sherny will just kill Zoro, and Ezra will also find Percente.
That
So it's a
turned the round.
Once again for Triblade, but the Viper's Pit is up, so a difficult push still for Triblade. They're going to have to find their way through it to find the last 3 members. Shrug finds Sherny. 10-4 is getting shot in the back. It might have just blinded himself as Shrug is on this position. Jax finds Mini. Dan0 finds 10-4. It leaves Shrug in the 1v4 with the Blade Storm out. Finds one, goes down to Verdict. So a nicer retake that time from Triblade. They get the win on the round, get up to 2. 6 on the half so far. Perhaps the start of a comeback for sure this time, as they get that round on the board. Some nice picks. The kill with the Snakebite there was pretty big on the planter of Zoro. I think some other chip damage must have come through because the Snakebites don't do that much damage anymore. Maybe some spam or something. But either way, very important, very big kill. Leads to that 3v5.
They found their economic footing once again.
Yeah, they have some money. They'll probably even have some money if they lose this round, though not a lot. But maybe enough to buy again. As Cursed Kings start to make their way through, their presence will be noted by a guiding light, but their numbers will not be. And Mini with the flick finds Sherny. Verdict, though, with the Hunter's Fury, will find 10-4. Zora now finds Jax. I think that was just on a site. Ezra holding the top of Kitchen will find one. Flashes himself in. Shrug is not particularly blinded by it, though. Dashes away. No duel. The Spike's going to go down towards the B site. Shrug gets dinked and backs away. Went back for seconds. I think both players are pretty low now. Spike is, however, planted. So Cursed Kings with that in their favor, though. So all of them are below full health, I believe. Yeah, it looks like they will be. So, and yeah, that's another one dead. So Verdict, long range Odin. Shrug's trying to peek out at a weird angle. I think, yeah, they think they noted his position there. Got the operator on the retake again. Never exactly what you want to see. Time's starting to tick down on them. Verdict will find another. That leaves Trisente.
Why is the Odin this effective? I thought it... okay.
The Odin not built for long range, but in that round, I guess so. Verdict finds 4 with it. Very nice kills there for Verdict. And that kind of pulls the round back and wins the round for Triblade, who now get their 3rd on the board. And that's actually going to prompt the Cursed Kings to call a timeout. So
I bet they're also asking themselves how the Odin just screwed their team over.
Maybe. Verdict, just a nice play there. It was an interesting strat out of Cursed Kings. You know, the mid strategies we don't see, the mid splits we just don't see very often on Icebox. It's not a map that particularly, you know, encourages it. It worked out at first, got them into a 3v3, but nice retake. Verdict, headhunting with the Odin, I guess. Finds some kills and wins them the round. And I think that's a pretty big round. I don't know how Cursed King's economy is looking, but I imagine it's still mostly fine, especially with the Tour de Force in the back pocket.
Yeah, of course.
I would have to assume, you know, we'll see if Trisente pulls that out. That would obviously be a great alternative to just buying a gun if they don't have the money. And I think Triblade's still not on the best economy. They've got the operator into this round. It looks like they're all going to have full armor and whatnot.
Yeah, it looks like the Tour de Force is being popped going into A site.
All right. We will see how this round develops. All right, actually, no, it is kind of a forced up buy. There's a Bulldog in there and the Tour de Force as well instead of a better gun, and Jex wants to get aggressive. Jex will be greeted by the Tour de Force.
Does create the slow field, I guess.
Yeah, that'll actually slow down the attackers, but it will give them four Vandals and, of course, the Tour de Force as their 5th rifle. There was also a Bulldog handed over. Should Trisente need it. Cursed Kings are actually slowing down, and Triblade's kind of exploring mid heavily here. They've got 3 players set up on mid right now. Despite that early A play from Cursed Kings, it's very interesting. They're kind of just leaving Verdict to late hold this, and this Recon Dart doesn't see anything yet, so that might encourage them to push up. Now he's still going to play pretty safe.
Don't speak too soon. You do see Verdict has that Prime Odin. Anything could happen.
He does, and Shrug's going to walk into it, so he does find the first. Verdict just so far making this Odin do some serious work. Azora will get the spike down. Verdict's just going to spam nothing. Spike is planted, and that will prompt the Cursed Kings to fall back towards Maze and beyond. Trisente gonna try to push up to avoid the owl drone. We'll see if it spots him. It might have. Sees the shoulder of Sherny and just teleport shots away that misses. He'll go down to Dan Zero, but that's 2 kills for Zoro with the Hunter's Fury. That leaves Dan Zero in a 1v2. I think it was a 1v3. He just found 2. He's in the 1v1.
I'm not sure if there's any hope.
I think he just goes down to a shock dart here. We'll see. Actually, he's going to swing out the shock dart. Misses. Dan Zero with the 1v3 with operator retake.
Round.
That's insane out of Dan. That was a huge play for him. He was on low health too. I thought that shock dart
very often.
Yeah, you don't see not like that, and he played that so smart. If he'd stuck on that spike any longer, I'm pretty sure, I mean, Dan Zero might have missed, but it looked like he knew what he was doing on that shock dart lineup. Dan Zero was dead if that hit him at all, but he decides to swing
He
out,
had like
and
20 health.
yeah, that was huge, and now that actually breaks Cursed King's money. Zoro will have a rifle, but that's it. You see some sheriffs being popped, and they've popped the Blade Storm and Tour de Force by now, so they don't even have those going into this round. Dan Zero with the operator here, holding up towards Belt from lower. There are 3 players once again for Triblade on this B side as Shrug dashes into his own smoke. That'll get some forward presence. It's going to kind of push Dan Zero into an awkward position where he's holding with the operator at close range. He spots the first. Jex will take down Mini, but Shrug will trade. I'm not sure if that rifle's recovered. It doesn't look like it.
He's reloading the Odin in the middle of a war zone.
Take flight.
The spike should be going down, though, and it will. Zoro actually, with the hero rifle, finds one, but goes down. And Shrug will get tagged, so he has to back away. So it's just going to be the sheriffs left to do some work here. They're going to get pinged out. 2 of them will get pinged by the recon dart. Verdict now holding. Tersente does find Dan, though, who's the hero of last round, and it's planted for heaven. Ezra goes down, or finds Shrug, takes him down. 10-4 now left in the 1v2. The crouch peek from Verdict is too strong. It looks like they should get the defuse, and they will. It's going to be 5 on the board for Triblade, and that's 4 in a row.
Gun here.
I think the more Verdict picks up that Odin,
In the half.
the more rounds they win. There's a bit of a correlation there I'm seeing.
Yeah, that Odin has been pretty good for them. Triblade's money is still a little all over the place. I mean, they might try to opt for a double op because Dan Zero has his Tour de Force. They actually, Jex is going to be stuck on the light armor here.
We'll likely see, what's it, Sky's Seeker ult come out. So it's last round.
Yep, and Tour de Force is popped immediately, of course. Dan Zero gonna swing it. They're really hesitating our Cursed Kings. That actually gives Dan Zero time to get into this position with an operator. Just the normal op, not opting for the Tour de Force, as he's gonna find Tersente just slow walking into him. Never fun to be the player walking into the op there as he goes down. And again, without really, and I think that was a bit of a messed up owl drone there, but without a Sage, it's really hard to take any space on this map, as Dan Zero going to go for the Tour de Force now to find one.
Oh, it's just a shooting gallery.
He will actually walk through the toxic screen, but goes down. Gets a little too aggressive, so 10-4 finds him. Ezra holding on to
It's the flanking
the
Odin.
The flanking Odin is coming through. If
Verdict
walks
doesn't
too far
disappoint.
up, we'll see. Oh, he times Mini a little bit there and takes Mini down.
Oh.
That makes this a bit of a rough one. The Seekers as well come through. They know both players are behind yellow here.
30 seconds left.
I would assume he's going to swing out with the Odin again. They're stuck between an Odin and an Op. Oh, actually, the Op's gone down, but 10-4 finds his...
Oh.
Okay, 10-4's now found a 4th on the round, and he popped his own Seeker, so
He knows exactly where Rain is.
And he's on pretty good health, but he doesn't have a lot of time. He's got
Reyna might
spike,
just...
got to start running. He swings out on the timing. 10-4 had to run back to site. He didn't have enough time not to.
Switching sides.
Almost pulled out a
What is
huge
that?
play there, did 10-4. He found 4, and they were pretty clean. But Jex just able to swing at the right time to keep that round in check and get the 5th in a row on the board for Triblade. Give them a 6-6 half after going down 5-0. They're very much in this.
What a comeback. It looks like there's a lot of pistol buys coming from Cursed Kings on the defender side. Yeah, everyone's
actually
buying a pistol.
All opting for a pistol, no armor. I think Ezra for Triblade has gone full utility. Dan Zero probably also gone full utility, although full utility means full headhunter. When you're playing the chamber. As it looks like Triblade are considering A, and Dan Zero is hoping 10-4 keeps walking forward.
Yeah, that is 600 shots.
Does not look like 10-4 will keep walking forward. As the whole of Cursed Kings are rotating to try to catch this B site. Tricente's just gonna tank a Trailblazer because he wants to, I guess. Shrug eventually gives up the position. They were spamming it enough that he was feared for his life. Sherny, a lurk specialist in a sense. We'll see if she keeps pushing. Tricente actually goes down, so that's actually going to be what gets her to push forward. She was playing around it very well. They don't know she's here, but she also doesn't know that someone's behind her. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, now she does. Surely she hears. Well, she'll actually find Shrug, as 10-4 will find her, but that leaves 10-4 in a 1. Like, 7 people just died at once. But most of them were members of Cursed Kings, as Triblade will find the second pistol and will put themselves in the lead for the first time. I was trying to talk about the lurk, and then just everybody peeked. Everybody peeked all at once, and everybody went down.
It looks like Cursed Kings is just forced into a terrible situation. 5 pistols on defense side, but the Classic can do a lot of things.
Of course, they have the Headhunter on Tricente with the chamber. So, oh no, we don't. No, they actually don't. He has no bullets for the Headhunter. Shrugs walked all the way up mid. We'll find one. He goes down to 1 health from the decay, but he'll live. He might actually be able to get healed as well. He has a Sky. I don't know if they have the Rego online. The rest, Triblade getting tagged up. Jex is now pretty low. Could get a kill and heal, but has to get that kill first. Kind of getting caught in a crossfire now. And Jex will finally get that heal, but it doesn't actually do anything. This is such an awkward position. There's 2 behind Verdict, and I don't think he knows it. Now he probably does. The spike's down, and Shrug is on top of it, but he doesn't have a lot of health to speak of, as Triblade find themselves in a 2v3 after their attempt to go A is kind of fallen apart. Luckily for them, most of the members of Cursed Kings have yet to be able to recover rifles, as, okay, we're just bold-face peeking into other people.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, Shrug swings around and finds Verdict. Dan Zero's in an awful position with just the Marshal. He does have some Headhunter bullets. Shrug gets healed up. He's got 20 seconds. He's got to make another huge play like he did with the Op some time ago. They're just playing a crossfire here on the site. Sticking with the Marshal. Gets swung. Shrug finds 4. A thrifty round for Cursed Kings. They didn't have anything coming into that round, but that first pick and that Shrug just barely living comes in huge. And that's going to get the second timeout out of Triblade, which, I mean, I can't blame them. It is really hard to lose that second round. They, thin margins there. Shrug lives with 1 HP in the long run, 26 technically, but, had 1 hit point. Had he gone down, I think Triblade handled that round comfortably, but he lives, manages to get 4 in the end, and gets Cursed Kings back into a tie, and now with huge weapon advantage and huge economy advantage for the rest of the half, potentially, or at least for this early part.
Of course. Still anybody's match, but it's like...
We'll see what Triblade try to do here. They should be on a save. They could try to force, but I doubt they would. They didn't even get spiked down in the last round. Most of them will be sitting on pretty close to minimum credits. Never a good feeling. Probably just going to look for a spike plant in this one and to try to build some economy off of that and start to get back into it on round 16 as we go into round 15 here. Yeah, pretty much just classics, a little bit of armor, some utility. For the side of Triblade, as they start to push in, this is map 1 of this 2-map set. These 2 teams, of course, very close in the standings, just 1 game apart. Both fighting for those last playoff spots. Going to Owl Drone forward. Shrug is playing an offing. This is going to be a very hard push if they decide to take it, Triblade. A lot of players playing in maze as soon as all of these orbs go down. As Mini's just going to actually spam one through this smoke. Jex has taken space, but not taken any lives as all of Cursed Kings are alive. The spike might go down. Sharony actually has to pull off. She'll get a kill, but now super low, gets just shot through the box.
Just about
It's a
5 seconds
cleanup
ago,
for Cursed Kings.
all of Triblade were alive, and then they were gone.
Yeah, well handled by Cursed Kings. They read it pretty well. I think their whole team was there in the end. Just the lone kill to Sharony, who couldn't even get spiked down. Yeah. Cursed Kings were kind of just ready for that. They were well set up for it, had a lot of players there and better guns often win rounds, though Triblade might might disagree with that after their loss in the second round of this half, just when momentum seemed to be going their way. Still though, a lot of map left to play as we are just in round 16 here. Triblade line Verdict has the Odin again as they're trying to get back into this round. Trisente will play behind yellow. Bit of an off angle, and I'm not okay. That toxic screen does cover everything, as we're gonna have the big X on the map here from the 2 toxic screen. And that's just a straight defensive Viper's pit. Trisente is gonna get seen by the Trailblazer, but he'll stay in position.
They're stuck.
They're getting slowly
Triblade is stuck.
by Shrug. They are stuck at the moment. But Verdict finds the first onto Trisente, and they're starting to push back the other direction. Dan0 finds Shrug. That's a big pick, because that opens them up to run back to the A site, of course, which they should have for free here. 10-4 will get there in time to contest, and maybe the whole team will, because they've slowed down. If they hear the Viper's pit drop, they'll know they're in danger, because it takes 10 seconds now, which is a long time, and a lot of space rotating. They're still going to push in, though. Viper's pit drops now, which they would notice. They're going to push in 1 for 1 so far, but 10-4 times 2. Mini finds another, and that's the Seekers popped. It's a 2v2 now. Once again, our Cursed Kings gonna pull off
hits the pick.
a round from behind. Mini on 26 HP.
It's a 1v1. Dan0 has to move.
Find him. He's just running. He's just running at him, and he had to avert him, but he didn't. He's got 2 seconds left. He's got to.
Oh, it's a pot.
He's looking the wrong direction. He gets the kill, but the round ticked out. Cursed Kings win again.
Viper got the first shot off because Dan0 wasn't looking in the right direction, but Dan0 still finds the kill. But after the time has run out.
That's another 3v5 for Cursed Kings. That is at least 2 this map. They're going to put Shrug on the operator. I do not see Shrug use the op very often. We'll see how he does from this E-box position. That is another heartbreaking round for Triblade.
Position.
It's a really, really rough break for Triblade right there. Dan0 mere seconds from pulling a round together. They lose another 3v5 round. They're just really struggling to get rounds on the board right now. They've been very, very close, but it's, you know, a lot of things going against them in this half, in this match, as they start to push towards the B site. They're going to be met by heavy resistance, as once again this kind of slower push style out of Triblade allows for rotations to come through. They're actually going to opt to just go ahead and throw out the Viper's pit. Spike's not down though, so Cursed Kings can kind of just hold off the push. Sharony here will sit in the pit with the shotgun. They're going to try to spam off their opponents. Shrug finds one. I'm not sure how with an operator. Might have just been spamming. 10-4 also finds Ezra. Getting spiked down here seems very, very difficult. Sharony spots the back of one looking the wrong direction, shoots her teammate.
Oh, shoots it
as you do. She's gonna try to stick the plant here. We'll see if this goes down. Bullets are spamming all around her. She'll live on 4 hit points. Spike will get planted, so at least that objective ticked off for Triblade, but a whole lot of work to do if they want to win this round, as the entirety of Cursed Kings are close and pushing in, but Trisente in the Viper's pit a little too long goes down. Shrug will find one though. Spamming in is just going to find Sharony in the corner. Jex will find one. Yeah, they heard the shot go off on the recon dart. He just guessed, and it worked out for him. They're going to get the defuse through. Cursed Kings will get 10.
That is yet another 3v5 win for Cursed Kings.
No, I think that was a 5v3 win for them. They always had the numbers advantage there.
5v3, yeah.
Other way around that time. Around perhaps more expected of them.
Yeah.
Than the 3v5 comebacks for them, but either way, it's a 10th round on the board for Cursed Kings, and this is kind of about where we saw Triblade's comeback start in the first half, and they're gonna need another one. As
Where
ooh,
does
this
that
is
dart?
quite a lineup.
Oh my!
Holy! And that's gonna force
Wow.
Shrug off the angle, and it's gonna force Shrug into the grave as he gets caught. What a lineup!
That
All
lineup
right, I don't know
earns
if
a
that's
kill.
well known, but that seems really particular to be bouncing that off of like terrain and not just like a wall. Like that's like rough
Yeah,
terrain.
no, it
back
earns
there.
an
That's
extra
insane.
bounce.
Take flight.
That's insane. Though still some work to be done for Triblade. They have to contend with the Viper's Pit and 4 members of Cursed Kings. Looks like they don't know what they quite want to do yet. Mini here sitting in the pit, of course, defending it with his life,
Revealing area.
making it very difficult for Triblade to push through. That recon dart also going to slow down and push through mid. Dan Zero gets caught, I think on belt. Yeah, gets caught on belt, so that's going to even things up at 4-on-4. Triblade's indecision here might be costing them a bit, as they lose a player amidst some indecision. They're going to start to head towards the B site. Yeah, as they head towards the B site. And
Oh, and there's
Verdict
the
with the Odin will win that out. Trisente holding the off angle here has, you know, can fall back on his rendezvous. We'll see if he just swings out through the smoke. Is fully blinded, though, by the Leer, so some raining utility coming in clutch there will allow the spike to go down for Triblade, and that'll get them into this 4v3 post plant around they desperately do not want to lose. Verdict surely has to be heard here as Mini goes to fight. Jex goes down. The last 2 players here for Cursed Kings with a lot of work to do, especially now that Trisente is left in the 1v4. He'll find the first onto Jex. Flashed off the angle. He's got so many to find.
He's just
Spam,
trying
though,
to do as
doing
much
some
damage as
work.
possible.
And his own... And actually, the Viper Wall's going to help him
Oh
cross.
my.
He's going to find 1. He's going to find 2.
Oh, and the Odin comes back into play.
Yeah, thankfully, Verdict's recon dart and the Odin were there to close that out, because Sherny put up the toxic screen, and it allowed for Trisente to cross in front of Verdict without being seen from his off angle, which was almost very bad, to say the least, because he was able to find those 2 frags. So despite the round win, Triblade take a lot of economic damage. They're going to be on some rough weapons here. However, Cursed King's not doing too hot themselves.
It looks like
Thankfully, the
Tricente's
Tour de
bringing
Force
out
to
the
fall
Tour de
back on.
Force.
Yeah, always a reliable tool to fall back on him. Thankfully for them, as he's posted up on this traditional angle. I think Verdict just got tagged by an owl drone in the middle of the map. Is there's some fight going on there? Nobody's in B long right now. As finally 2 members of Cursed Kings are going to rotate back that direction. And actually, Zoro just finding Verdict, looking the other direction. Sherny can't trade as he dives away. That was a really narrow push. Just could see the arm poking out, gets the frag. That's pretty
A-site
impactful right
Ezra
there.
has been considering dry peeking the op for about 15 seconds before backing off.
And Triblade, or Cursed Kings have rotated, like, I mean, as you can see, 3 members towards the A site. That's for, or the B site. That's where they're expecting the hit to come, and it does look like it's going to come that direction. Nobody is really taking note of Sherny's position. She could swing out and find a free kill onto Shrug here, who's now watching it, and she can't see him behind the gun. That's unfortunate for her. She'll go down, hidden behind the gun there. As they're going to start to rotate back towards A. So at the very least, you know, these rotations are going to get Triblade a chance to get on site here, as Dan will just live. They could plant, but they don't know it, and unfortunately that might be their downfall here, as now they have to push up to try to get the spike down. Jex is going to have to cover a nearly uncoverable position. We'll find 1 frag in the 1-for-1, but now Spike's down behind a toxic screen. There's 5 seconds left. They're just going to let time tick out. Some really unfortunate breaks there for Triblade, as has continued for most of the map. Sherny peeks out and just can't see Shrug behind her gun. Bad timing in mid. Just really, really series of rough breaks for Triblade. This whole map, honestly. Still keeping it close, still 8-11. They've got, with the Tour de Force, I think they're going to have enough of a buy here to at least get something going, but
That's a good spot.
I mean, it's only so many rough breaks you can take before you just lose the map, as there's actually just going to be a straight 5v5, as Cursed Kings are just running at the members of Triblade. Shrug is way pushed up into this off angle, but goes down to Jackson the 1-for-1. Ezra also trades 1-for-1, as they're still just pushing forward. The Seekers come out. These players are way pushed up still, as they continue to try to march forward. We're going to see the Trailblazer come out, concusses Sharony. She's going to get taken down. 10-4 finds
the
2.
double.
Verdict will have to trade. He has nothing but a classic right now. He's got to find another
it's
gun.
a pistol.
Yeah, they know. I think they might know that he doesn't have a gun. Either way, he's got to find one. They're double holding the angle as well.
Can get the Spectre upgrade. Oh, he's going to get founded up.
Runs forward, goes down to Zoro. An absolutely buck wild strategy from Cursed Kings of just 5-man pushing in the A site ends up working out for them. It's gonna get them on a match point and force Triblade onto a save, or not a save, but a non-ideal buy, to say the least. Verdict will have his Odin. Ezra should be able to buy, but Jax on a Bulldog, Sharony on a Spectre, Dan Zero
So we
on
see the
Guardian.
Odin buy. That means the score is basically 9-12 at this point.
Perhaps they're going to need that Odin, among other things, to start coming through for them. As Shrug is going to get aggressive in tube. He's probably going to peek out here. Can he find one? He does onto Sharony, gets away. Another 1-for-1 will go through. That puts it 4v5 in the or 4v3 in the favor of Cursed Kings. This aggressive play from them on defense just keeps paying off. We're seeing that jet pick kind of do wonders as Shrug can just get away. That's the second time you think he's walked down mid and gotten away with it, if you remember the second round of this half. So Triblade, an uphill battle. Verdict, though, and that Odin still alive, but look at all this A control that Cursed Kings have. This is so difficult to deal with. Unless 10-4 walks into him. Unless 10-4 didn't walk into him. Mini instead finds the pick. Now it's 2v4. Hope feeling a little thin. They haven't even recovered Spike. They don't realize nobody's watching it. I don't think Cursed Kings ever saw the Spike for more than a moment, but oh, it's on top. That is why they have not collected it. 10-4 will find Den Zero. It leaves Ezra left in this 1v4 with the map on the line. Has it all to do. Both flashes miss. He's got to push up. Will find the first. Could he find the second? He will, actually. Mini didn't have the gun out, so it's a chance here. He's got about 18 seconds. He's going to opt to go for the Trailblazer. I'm not sure this is the right decision with the time ticking down like it is. He will note Shrug's position. He's got about 10 seconds left. He's got to start planting in 5.
There's the game.
He's not even going to make it that far. Shrug will take his head off. The Cursed Kings will take map 1 13-8 on Icebox.
Wasn't exactly
honestly
a comeback because they were tied at the half. But
I really think Triblade, if just a couple breaks went their way, we'd still be playing this map. And this map would be at least tied, if not Triblade in their favor. They had a lot of rough breaks, some unfortunate rounds, Shrug living on low HP, especially in the second half, Shrug living on low HP, Sharony getting timinged, having Shrug peek behind her gun, just stuff like that. Like a whole lot of rounds, a lot of 5v3s they also threw, a whole lot of mistakes. A whole lot of bad breaks all add up to Cursed Kings taking map 1 of Icebox.
I mean, despite all that, this is just good Valorant.
Very fun to watch, for sure. We will be back shortly for map 2 Bind. Until then, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. We've just seen map 1 between Tri-Blade and Cursed Kings in our Master Division. Cursed Kings took map 1, I believe it was 13-8. Map 1 was Icebox. We are going on to map 2, Bind. Psych. You
Hello.
looking forward to
Yes.
this second match? Are you looking forward to our second map? Here in our second match.
Yes. Bind. It's one of my favorite maps. I think it's the first Valorant map I ever played. So I'm just very balanced. Just looking forward to a nice match to end the night between these two teams.
Apologies if we sound a little tired. We've both been casting for 3 hours. As we're
Something
waiting to
like
get
that.
into
Something like that.
Agent Select for our final map. I think Tri-Blade coming into this final map of Bind really looking to pull off a victory here. I think they could use it pretty badly to stay at 500. It's a very competitive Master Division. A lot of teams hovering at or just above 500, making it very hard, kind of crowding the playoff field pretty heavily. Actually, could see the stat page updated here tonight as we've been going, and it doesn't look like it has quite yet. And I do see some match submissions, though, have been posted. Big upset actually went down in Master today. The similar upset here as we go into Agent Select here. That was an interesting transition effect. The Omnipotent Sandwiches Tutlery Tacos 2-0'd the top of the table Flames. That was, again, a bottom of the table versus top of the table upset. So a lot of upsets tonight in VDC. Very interesting. That actually, I believe if Flames had won that map, Flames had won that set 2-0, which I expected them to do, they would pretty much be locked into playoffs right now, but they didn't win that match. In other Masters matches, it looks like we got a 1-1 between Team Upset and Purple Iris, a 1-1 between Blackjacks and the Exos. It looks like Sugar Cubes was 2-0'd by Espresso, and Glitch Hop 2-0'd Moss Agate. As we come back to this match, 1-0
We're
in favor
seeing
of Cursed
brimstone
Kings.
picks on both sides. I'm liking this already.
Yeah, very interesting. And we will see Zoro going for the Fade. I really like the Fade on this map. They're going to go Fade and Breach, which is kind of a terrifying combination when they get onto the attacker side. They'll put Shrug onto the Raze. Dan Zero will go for the Chamber. I'm never sure how to feel about the Chamber pick on Bind. Obviously huge if you can find some picks with it, but you have to obviously have the impact with it for it to be good. Killjoy, though, also, Sentinels on this map a little all up in the air for me. I think it's a bit of a salad toss between, Killjoy, Chamber, and the Sage. Nevertheless, we'll see Ezra come in with the Sky as well, as Tri-Blade will be on the attack first. You typically would assume, I would typically call Bind Defender favored. It doesn't actually tend to play that way. It tends to be pretty even, much to my shock every time I see these statistics. But nevertheless, I still think it's a little Defender favored. You'd prefer to start Defender side, as Cursed Kings have done. And it'll be on Tri-Blade, who had some struggles in that attacking half on Icebox, could only put together 2 rounds even after winning Pistol. It'll be up to them to make their attacking side here work. As it looks like A is the play.
Looks like a hit on Bath.
Yeah, and Dan will lurk in mid. They might just be going for the close plant, as there are a couple players playing backside. That grenade's going to come out, but it's going to leave Shrug out in the open, exposed to go down. But oh my goodness, what in the world just happened? That grenade finds 3. The paint shells from Shrug find a postmortem triple kill. What?
Was Breach involved in any way?
I can't.
Were they stunned?
They must have been. I hope so, or they were just all running into each other, perhaps. Either way, Dan Zero in the unenviable 1v4 now. Things were looking good at first, but wow. Okay.
You know, otherwise this would have been a
Dan,
clean 4v4. Maybe the site would have been taken by now, but a single raise and they
yeah.
screwed
I wish
over
we had.
everyone.
Yeah, I wish we had replays on this stream tonight, but unfortunately we don't have them going for us. As
30
Dan
seconds
Zero,
left.
with a potentially impossible task of having to push out of showers alone. Oh, okay. 10-4 is trolling by just straight peeking with the knife. Zoro will peek out behind him and kill.
It's the
Dan
distraction
Zero
play.
as, I mean, what can you say? I there must have been a fault line maybe, or just everyone ran into each other. Either way, 3 players go down to the paint shells. Shrug dies first, but gets 3 from the grave. And Cursed Kings win the first round. It continues to be kind of a story of just wild luck, perhaps? I mean, that could have been a combo. Again, they don't have... There's no gravity... Zora, I think I figured it out. I think it was a Seize combo. I think the Fade was involved there and not the Breach.
Right here.
I have a sneaking suspicion that is what happened. Unfortunately, I don't remember the kill feed because I was too busy picking my jaw up off my desk. But if I had to guess, there was a Seize that was thrown into that little gap in the ceiling in showers, and it grabbed all of them. And they were decayed, so the paint shells killed them quicker. So that's actually a really nice utility combination from Cursed Kings. No luck really at all, other than the fact that, you know, there's a full team there, but either way, that probably still gets good value. Even if there were just a few, as Cursed Kings will go into the second round. It looks like an A hit's coming for Tri-Blade, or a B hit, rather, as they push up.
Chambers in a situation where he can't really push up forward or else he's going to get tripped.
Jax tries to go in for the entry, goes down to Shrug. Zoro will take down Verdict. There's some whiffs by Shrug as well, but Tristente cleans up Sharony. Ezra will find 1, but now that leaves Dan Zero in a 1v4 once again. This is already getting old, I'm sure, for him. He tries to flick to the head, can't find it. It's clean, pretty clean round for Cursed Kings, as they will take their second as expected here on Bind. So now it's on to Tri-Blade to actually start bouncing back into this round. Verdict is going to go ahead and opt into the Odin. Looks like he is just relying on that thing in this series. You saw it had some pretty good effect in map 1 of Icebox. It definitely helped them win a lot of rounds, especially on defense. Maybe not as effective on offense. However, he's going to have faith in it all the same. It'll be the Spectres and Bulldogs that were saved over, as well as Tristente and his army of utility and not much else. As they want to go aggressive for Showers control, do the Cursed Kings, and they will get it. Early in this round. Now, I don't remember if this penetrates through...
I believe it does.
Oh, it definitely does. Oh, yeah, it definitely does. Tristente,
but I doubt
if they ping this corner... Yeah, that would be a bit incredible, but... bit in danger, perhaps, is Tristente and the Killjoy. I wonder if they noted all of the Killjoy utility with that Owl drone. It doesn't look like it. Otherwise, I think they'd be shock darting it, as it will get popped by Tristente, the first of the Nano Swarms. This is drawing pretty much all of the rotations, and leaving just one player, Mini, alone on the B site, as they're just charging through. Verdict is vulnerable, and
my
what
God.
in the world just happened?
30 seconds left.
What is going on in this game?
It was the rate.
Yeah.
It was the Nano Swarm.
It was the alarm bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alarm bot just vulnerable to all of them. They just straight push up and they all just go down. Dan Zero once again left in a 1vx, this time a 1v5.
10 seconds left.
I mean, I guess you just run. Not much else to do. He's kind of hemmed in now. We'll see. They should probably just hunt him down and kill him, which we'll see if they do, as Mini is looking for him. Dan will take him down. He's on very low hit points, but he'll survive. Survives with very low money, though, of course. Rebuy his armor. That's all they're really going to have going into this round. This utility out of Cursed King so far having perhaps an alarming value for them, as that alarm bot must have tagged 3 vulnerable, because I've never seen a classic do that on players with full armor. I think Tresente just went on the right-click show, and the best shotgun in the game that doesn't cost you any money, apparently, killed everybody.
Of course.
Bring them down.
So, looks like both Prowlers are going to come through the window, or through the teleporter towards Hookah, where Triblade want to make their execution onto B, hoping perhaps that one actually gets off the ground rather than just having everybody die on the entry like they have the 2 rounds they've actually had any cohesion so far. Another grenade kill. Shrug. I think they didn't even. I'm not sure if there was a combo there because I don't see an assist. I think that just came through the teleporter and killed Sharony. Verdict, though, lurked up into the position, finds Mini, finds the gun. We'll see if Triblade continue to push off of this, as the entirety of the Cursed Kings are here. And he's going to walk into Shrug is Verdict. He'll go down, though. Lost duel. Dan0 does find... Wait, hold on. They've gotten onto site, and they've gotten 2. They've gotten 3 Jeks with 2 headshots. Now Zoro is going to get naded off, but actually just swings the angle. Doesn't take any damage from the nade. It was a little too deep. So he'll find 1, but that leaves him... Confirms that wasn't a combo, by the way, as the Seize was still in the hands of Zoro. That nade just
he does not see
Sharony.
anybody.
Oh, but he's clearing Ezra! And thankfully Dan0 so I'm not... Okay. These rounds are very strange, but Triblade got on a site, Jax found 2, I think Dan found a couple by the end of it. The rifle comes through at the end with just enough health, swings on the timing, and okay, first round Triblade in another, just like on Icebox, in perhaps the most unexpected fashion on a thrifty round, in which they gave up the first pick. Sure. This series is insane.
Quick peeks now.
Yeah, I'm too tired to grasp the full reality of this.
Where are you?
Alright, it seems it's going to be another full buy round with Verdict on the Odin.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to go towards the B site. Mini does not have the orbital strike. Because for a second, I thought he had the orbital strike, and if he did, I was expecting it to kill 3 people. With the way this half has been going so far, it looks like Triblade are setting up for their execute. Zoro is playing Quake in the back of sight as he's actually going to get mated off. Forced into the center. And he's getting pinged as well by an Owl drone. Surely this is the time to go for Triblade, as Verdict's going to walk out alone. Will, though...
Dan0 gets that pick from Garden.
Yeah, as they start to push out, though, Zoro and Mini both find a pick each. No trades as of yet. Sharony will find a headshot onto Mini. Zoro, we are at 1v2 on site for the moment. I think that Nightfall is going to buy some time. Yeah, it's going to force both players back. We'll see if they still continue to commit here. It'll now be 2 players defending the site. If the lockdown gets popped, that's at least kind of value. But I think that's just a hold to see.
Oh, he's going to get flushed out with Molly.
Yeah, it forces him for out, but Sharony tags super low. Dan0 is just once again in a 1v3. This dude's always the last guy alive, and unfortunately, he's not got a lot of time.
It's impossible.
Yeah. Although,
at least if he dies,
Tresente might have given him a... Yeah, Tresente actually might have given him a swing there at the end there, because it looked like he was swung out far enough that if Dan0 had managed to kill 10-4, there was a chance. I doubt it, though. It's still a hard duel. So that puts Triblade back on the save. They're really committing to the site they start on. They're not really taking control of the other site, as we saw there. Even if they had come back to A, Tresente never left, and Killjoy utility that late in the round would have been hell to deal with, as the setup of his has already, at least, already done serious damage to both multiple players and just perhaps the mental of Triblade. Dan0 walks across, like has the Port of Force, which will be the biggest threat in this round.
About to walk into that 3 stack of Cursed Kings.
They're also about to walk into that little triangle of Killjoy utility that I can see on the minimap. And that did them dirty last time. You know, they could shock dart it, as they'll both get popped. The alarm bot's still alive, which was the problem last time. Okay, lockdown comes in. This will force Triblade to reconsider. Again, the Tour de Force, they technically have a showstopper if they want to use it, but the Tour de Force is the major threat in this round. They're also going to get online for free a Hunter's Fury. They've got a lot of ultimates, but they've also got 4 players to contend with if they commit to this A site. We'll see if they do seem to be waiting long enough to get Shrug to rotate back towards B. And the Cursed Kings are playing this really smart. They're just playing really far back. They still have the alarm bot and the Killjoy turret that will hold these angles.
30 seconds.
The Tour de Force
And
cannot
10-4
find anybody.
Yeah, there's just nobody to see, and yeah, they're gonna have to just walk in here. I think they just turned to the alarm bot once again. Tresente swings out, finds Verdict. Tresente finds Ezra. Dan0 will finally find him instead. Oh, I thought he got that shot blind, but time is now extremely low,
Enemy remaining.
as it'll be all down to Sharony. She'll go down to Shrug as well. Gun
Shrug just
diffed in
cleans
the
up.
end. Yeah, Triblade took too long. I don't think there's a lot more analysis to do than that. They waited too long to push into sight. Superior weapons in favor of the Cursed Kings. We're going to see a timeout out of Triblade. It is late hours for a lot of people. We did ask them to reschedule this match. We're
Yeah,
very
that's
glad
right.
that they did so. But I'm sure some of these players might be tired as well. It's a bit late, you know. Maybe could use a. Might be easy to give into that lull of just.
Screw this. I'm just gonna
yeah.
finish the game.
Might be easy to check out a little bit. So Triblade, who pretty heavily, kind of need this map. This is a team in Cursed Kings that they're pretty close with on the scoreboard, and Triblade is also, they would fall to 8 and 10 if they lose this, which would put them out of playoffs at the moment and give them an uphill battle to get back into it in their last 2 maps. They'd probably have to go at least 3 and 1 to have a chance, if not go 4 and 0. So this is a map they really could use, and in a big way. So hopefully, that's probably part of what's being talked about here, or at least has been talked about during that timeout, as we rally back up for round 7.
Placing sentry.
And yeah, the attacking op. And again, this pattern out of Triblade has me worried, which is they are all stacked up towards B, and there's now 4 defenders here. They're gonna walk into a stack at this rate. They could pull it off, we'll see, but this is not boded well for them so far this half. There's literally no presence on A. There's one person in the whole game on A site, and that's it. So Triblade working with what's in front of them. Gonna get smoked off again, and yeah, this is some of the trouble of. This is why I call buying defensive sided, even if perhaps statistically it isn't necessarily. This is a pain. Pushing this map is very, very annoying sometimes, as Verdict will get noted by the Haunt, so they know there's some presence here.
Maybe it's not a matter of Triblade being too passive. It's a matter of just Cursed Kings not giving them any opportunities to get any picks to have motivation entry.
Well, there is a pick, as Verdict will find Shrug. It doesn't get 10-4 to rotate off, and they still think this Killjoy utility is going to be here, but I think as soon as they find out that it's not, they're just ripping it into a site. 10-4 is the only defender. He will hold the back of U-Haul. Dex will swing out and go down. So Sharony will plant, but it will even up the numbers as 10-4 does well to get one and live.
Oh, does he catch the one on CT?
So now they rotate. Well, that's his teammate. As the whole team of Cursed Kings now back site, and Sharony goes down while using the orbital strike. It does go off, so he gets a kill post-mortem, the 4th post-mortem kill of the map in total. And Verdict just spamming through here actually gets a lot of good damage down. And Dan0 will hold off Tresente with the operator. Nobody around to tap the spike. Verdict is just running and kiting away the members of Cursed Kings. That Odin finds 3. It works out for Triblade. That timeout's paying off already. They get on the board. They actually rotate to the other site. Cursed Kings kind of stubbornly played 4 on B. Never really rotated anybody back. No Killjoy utility on A or anything. It was kind of just 10-4 to hold. And he did well. He held the back of site. They didn't get full site control, but the post plant 3v3 ended up going in the favor of Triblade. So that gets them around on the board. Their money is still wild. Jax is on a stinger. And this is going to be a fast push down A link, and this is not going to find anything. There is nobody here. Shrug will look for somebody as Minnie's going to have to run away. There's actually going to be, Trisente takes down Dan Zero as that massive flank has come through. Zoro's going to take down Sharon. Shrug gets another grenade kill, dude. This is getting ridiculous at this point. I think he's up to 5 on the match.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, okay. This is, that push works out for Cursed Kings, and Triblade are left in a 2v5 with an uphill battle ahead of them. They have no control of either site, really. They've lost control of Hookah at this point as Jax has fallen fully out. He still doesn't know if there's more flankers to deal with. Verdict has to re-clear all of this space. It's going to take a lot of time, and they're going to be left with not a lot, not much, on the clock. We'll note 1 position in 10-4, but will then immediately get smoked off. This is actually drawing a weird number of rotations. They're going to send 4 to the A site.
Triblade's race might be able to capitalize on this.
Yeah, Jax could plant. This seems wholly unnecessary to send this many people back over. Shrug's just completely Jax can just walk out and plant. Unfortunately, Verdict's going to go down. Jax still doesn't know he can just plant. And I don't think Cursed Kings know where Jax is. He's going to get the spike down, but this is a full and clear 1v5 required.
This is not going to end out well.
I've seen it. That's all I'll say. Let me tell you a story. It starts with Jax pulling out the shirt side and he goes down. Okay, it must have been a different story.
We'll see it another time. Another time.
Yeah, it was a different 1v5. It was a different person. That's my bad. I steal a bit from Pansy. It'll be around 2 Cursed Kings as they go up 6-2 on the flawless round. Even if I disagree, I think if you plant the spike, it shouldn't be allowed to be a flawless round. But what do I know? I didn't make the game.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
All right.
Swarm grenade.
Well, I think Triblade are on an eco again. It feels like they've never been off an eco.
They haven't had a full buy in ages.
Reminder that map 1 was Icebox. Map 1 was 13-8 in favor of Cursed Kings. After a 6-6 half, they really capitalized on their defensive half, as Triblade couldn't find any momentum for themselves, as I have a bad feeling that Dan Zero is going to die. He does find 1, though. He actually could find 2. Doesn't. But that is a first pick for Triblade. It's a 4-on-4, which does favor the offense a little bit, spreads the defenders out a little more, leaves more potential avenues to push through, fewer defenders on any given site, as Minnie's going to run backwards. Gives up control of B long. Triblade's still playing really, really, but 3 players are starting to work towards long, as Verdict is just trying to draw rotations again with his utility, like he did in the previous round. Sharony has a shorty, and that is it. Verdict will recover the Vandal. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing the plot here. The solo shorty is really funny to me for absolutely no reason. As they start to push into the site, it looks like an orbital strike is on deck for the defense. Once there's some progress here into the site, as Sharony has pushed them into the cubby. They're gonna have to plant. They're gonna have to plant now. Zoro's in the middle of site. Yet I think this round's actually just over. The orbital strike will come in if necessary. It's not.
That's the round.
1 enemy remaining.
Trisente finds Verdict, and Jax goes down to Zoro. Yeah. Gun diff, as it happens.
That's all you can
say.
say.
7-2.
Yeah.
Triblade really need to find some momentum. I feel like they've never had a full buy in this map, and once again, they're kind of like there's still 2 players on light armor. a bit perplexed at their buying habits. They keep like trying to force up, and they never get spiked down, so they never have enough money to buy full armor. This has happened in almost every round, as Dan0 really the only one doing a lot. Of course, he's been the last alive in a lot of circumstances, so maybe some freer kills going his way. Otherwise, Triblade really struggling to find anything here. Their team play has been a bit uncoordinated, and I think some of that might just be frustration, perhaps carrying over from the first map, as they will make presence on A again. And if they go back towards B, I have a bad feeling about where that Fade is playing. Actually, the Fade's going to keep pushing, so they could find her. I can't remember who's playing Fade. It is Zoro. Okay.
Bring them down.
Who the dogs?
Well, you
They
see,
intersect.
Fade's Prowler is actually a cat.
Okay. Okay.
And Sky's Trailblazer is actually a Tasmanian tiger, which is neither a dog nor a cat, as we get a 1-for-1 trade on the from showers to defender pipes. Cursed Kings is just rotating everybody here, and once again the orbital strike is within range to disrupt the plan, as there's 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds left.
Triblade wearing the clock down in every round, but not really gaining anything for it, and it's pressing them on time again. That haunt sees a lot of people as the Seekers comes out and immediately gets shut down by Shrug. Shrug peeks out. Can't quite get Sharony, but will get and Sharony on her own in this 1v4. Should have time to get spiked down. That Molly, though, will disrupt the default plan. She's got to fight Minnie, can't win it on the 30 hit points. Minnie takes her down.
Better Brimstone prevails.
At least in that round, as Sharony does go down, as do Triblade. They are on the eco for the 12th time, the 11th time. It feels like they've been ecoing every round. I can't remember. Since the third round, I can't remember a round they've had full money. Like it just never happened. Last round was technically a full buy for them as a hello friend. A good friend on the wall there. Oh, another friend. Alright, well, friends go away when the round starts, unfortunately, as... Oh, that was a really aggressive push. Nora finds two. There's double aggressive pushes. As I don't think Triblade's going to be ready for this push behind themselves either.
Gets hit
Zora's
by
going to swing it again. Oh, the satchel, though. Trisente,
disrupts
though,
the
from behind
aim.
me. Where is Trisente? Oh, he's also in hookah. Okay, he swings out. He finds Dan0. 10-4 will find Verdict. It's just a crunch. Cursed Kings are playing offense because they can. They're up 9-2. I think Triblade are preying on the power of a curse here that they have to first earn a third round in if they want any hope in this map. And again, we still like... This is going to be a really heavy uphill battle for Triblade. You still have that strong offensive duo of Breach and Fade. For Cursed Kings, nobody on Triblade except Dan0 is particularly doing well. Late hours, frustrating first map, might just be some mental wear and tear on the members of Triblade here, as once again we're seeing a push down from the defense. Jax will 1-for-1 with Zoro, so he goes down. So again, a 4v4. Dan0 just tanks the Prowler. Might be trying to bait for his teammate. I think that is what he's trying to do. He's trying to bait somebody to swing so Verdict could kill them. Doesn't work out though, as there is the voice line that Fade says when somebody gets blinded. Doesn't happen though. Nobody gets baited, as Triblade are finally splitting their pressure here. They will get the lockdown out of Trisente all the way on the A site. Shrug thinks about rotating back, but it looks like he will choose not to, as Sharony and her lovely Iron Gun buddy will cross back through. Is they're going to go for the B hit. She does have the orbital strike. Dan0 finds one.
3v3.
Yeah, I didn't notice Cursed King finding another pick, but I guess... Remember, if Triblade went down, as most come in, they're going to start to hit the site. They know nobody's backside. Zora's the only player here. We'll see if he swings on a good timing. He doesn't really, but it works out for him. And there's Jactai low.
All hurt. They are hurt.
A lot. Trisente just runs out while the spike's going down. Triblade can't even get the
Switching
curse on their
sides.
side here. They go down 10-2. It's going to take a lot. It is going to take a lot for them to get back into this one. And for Cursed Kings, no matter what, even if they manage to lose this map, at this point of note, tiebreak has been secured for them over Triblade because they won the first map 13-8. Triblade can't match that round differential. So even if we see a massive throw from the Cursed Kings, they've at least got that going for them as they are close to Triblade in the standings. That could be important, especially if Triblade can come back in this map, but they are going to need to if they want their playoff hopes to stay, you know, not alive, but well and intact.
I expect to
Otherwise, I think
see
we'd be pretty
a
quickly on
lot
life support.
Chris.
I'm not quite sure what you just said, as I got some audio issues on my end as we see this fast push into B from the Cursed Kings. That's how an execute is done, and it has gotten them the site and the spike plant, something I don't think we saw Triblade do but like twice. Anyway, they're going to storm into elbow. Dan Zero with a nice shot to get one, but now all the way in the spawn, this is going to be a difficult retake. And, oh, Jax actually finds Vicente. I was watching that angle on box. Sharony will find Mini with a headshot. As 10-4 and Jax last 2 life. Sharony with another headshot. And Ezra starting to defuse. Holding off Shrug is Sharony. She has to reload, though, but she'll reload in time, get the right click, and...
Some of the BM.
Yeah, I think there might be some mental diff going on as that round probably feels huge. Sharony with 2 nice headshots. Sharony, by the way, the not only master leader in headshot percentage, but the leader in the entire VDC in headshot percentage of anyone who's played a substantial number of matches. She has a 38% headshot percentage coming into this matchup, which is top of the league, as I said. Very impressive for her, and 2 more headshots there. As, that's a big round. Yeah, that is a big round for Triblade, obviously. I mean, every round's important for them, but that round perhaps more than some others is they're going to... Okay, this is an interesting strat out of Cursed Kings. They pinch Hookah by taking the teleporter from short, maybe trying to catch rotators off. Who knows? But yeah, one Sky Smoke will kind of shut that down. See if they decide to push out. They do, actually. They go jumping out of Hookah, and Ezra and Sharony on the crossfire. Nice shot by Sharony. Ezra finds 2. Ezra finds 3. 10-4 left to try to contain the rotators with the spike. We'll just find Jax running with his gun out. Okay.
Finds the headshot on chamber, but can't get the kill.
If I were Dan Zero and that killed me, I think I'd be screaming. But thankfully it doesn't, as Triblade finally catch a semblance of a break, if you can call it that. Probably would have won the round anyway, you would think, but they win it with 4 alive. And it's now 10-4. Who is leading 10-4 with his team, Cursed Kings. Okay, yeah, might have lost the plot a bit. It's a bit late. Anyway, we've actually got a push up here from Dan Zero with the Spectre. We'll see if we can find any from this position. I do think I don't know if he placed a rendezvous at his feet. I see an outline of it, but I can't tell which direction it's facing. That would have made noise. They're going to clear him.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Back placed that rendezvous in the corner, so it made noise. They heard him.
Sova
The push is going to start to come onto the A site as Verdict actually finds Shrug flash packing, and Verdict opts for the reload while he's blind. Fair enough, goes down. Jax is pushing into showers, finds the first, can't find the shots on the second mini, pulls out the Sheriff and will get the kill, but it's still too late to keep that out of 3v1, as we're going to have to pull out some heroics to keep this tenable.
Spike planted.
Swings out. This bonus round feels necessary. If Triblade want to keep their hopes alive, it won't be enough. And at this point, I think Cursed Kings, you know, if we had a percent chance to win, you know, if we had some kind of statistic like that, I think we'd push in 95+% at this point. I mean, worst case scenario, if you're Cursed Kings and you start bleeding rounds, right? You just save all your ults. Fatal, you know, Nightfall, Rolling Thunder, throw in an Orbital Strike and a Lockdown.
They have an Operator and an Odin on defense side. I think there's some hope for them.
there's some hope, but they're gonna have to string a lot of rounds together, and that's the scary part, especially if Dan Zero peeks out like that. They get a 1-for-1 on long, so that's early B control for the Cursed Kings as they start to push up. Triblade do have the showstopper, but Cursed Kings with the Orbital Strike could make this difficult quickly. Sharony forced to play this in back sight like this and forced into the utility by other utility. That's really rough. And Mini just killed Verdict, who teleported with the Orbital Strike. I called that out, yeah, that it was online, and it puts in value. I think Zoro just shot through the box and killed Sharony. Okay,
Yeah, it was a
swung
wall
out
bang.
wide
It was a wall bang through the container.
Yeah, I think he could see her from the angle she was at. Jex, we'll see if he tries this.
Oh, Jax is just gonna go on hide and spawn.
He's yeah, he's gonna try to save the rifle as they will seed the 12th and put Cursed Kings on map point, match point, and a 2-0 sweep. Reminder, this is only a 2-game series. Map 1 was Icebox. It was 13-8 in favor of Cursed Kings. And again, this is a pretty big series, especially for Triblade, especially now. This comeback would be huge for their chances at playoffs. You know, Triblade came into this series at 8-8, and you know, some questions about Triblade's legitimacy with their record. They've got 2 forfeit match wins on their record in their favor, so that's 4 of their 8 wins. Yeah, 4 of their 8 wins were forfeits. And they're really struggling here against Cursed Kings. If they could somehow salvage this comeback, perhaps, you know, legitimize
to
themselves.
Make a comeback, you would need 10 unbroken rounds.
Well, they need 8 to force overtime at least. And I think they'll start and settle for 8 before they go anywhere after that. As, yeah, here comes the Rolling Thunder execute for Cursed King's. Verdict is just going to die to a paint shell. That's the 6th kill. But Jex does find one. Shrugs push all the way into Halls. So the Showstopper slows down the push a little bit. Jex can't swing out wide enough to throw, unfortunately, a paint shell. And Shrug finds Sharony. Dan with the Judge, though, will trade. Mini finds Jex. It leaves us in a 2v3 for the defense. They've got to retake this. They have to win it. Dan Zero finds one. Ezra's going to find Mini. The spike actually never went down, so 10-4 left in the 1v1 as he takes down Ezra. Dan's going to opt to pop the Tour de Force, and that's a teleport. Yeah. Teleporters on Bind have pretty much one purpose, and it's this. It is to teleport in 1v1s, I feel like. As Spike's going to go down, this gets very, very, very difficult for Dan Zero. It's really hard to retake the site when they know where you're coming from. You don't know where he
bad
is.
Timing. That is the game.
Yeah, fault line, nice shots. Gets the 13th. It's a 13-4 for Cursed Kings. They win both maps. They take Bind handily after handling Icebox. It is a 2-0 for Cursed Kings, who might actually move into a tie for first place tonight. I know I mentioned earlier Flames lost both their maps. Let me just check one other result. Yeah, that'll actually move them into a tie with at least Flames for first place. There might be a couple other teams. I will also check that really quickly. But yeah, that moves them into a tie for first place right now. Looks like with Flames and Glitch Hop. So 3-way tie for first place at 11-7 after tonight. A very tight Masters standings. Triblade will drop to 8-10, which should drop them out of playoff. Well, they were already out of a playoff spot. We'll drop them even further out of a playoff spot, kind of push their backs against the wall. If they want to make playoffs, they're probably going to have to rattle off their last. But yeah, that will finally do it for us at the VDC. It has been a bit of a long night for us. Thank you so much for joining us. We will come back to you on Friday for our next stream. Thank you all for watching and have a great night.